Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Friday, June 19th. We have episode 55 loaded up. Should be a good one. We have, I think at this point, 2 weeks of World Cup games in. Some news coming from the transfer portal. We're going to try Siete 0 again, and then we're going to give some superlatives based on group stage round 1. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent! Form is temporary! Form is temporary!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Oh, it's not Ethan? Oh, it's Pooch. Ethan's feeling under the weather, so I'm gonna intro everyone. Today we are joined by a man who truly understands the meaning of the word resilience. Not only does he hail from the beautiful nation of Ukraine, but he also willingly chooses to suffer through the weekly emotional roller coaster that is being a massive Chelsea FC fan. He's currently surviving the Todd Bowley billion-dollar pyramid scheme, and somehow he still wakes up every weekend believing that a squad of 42 random 18-year-olds on 8-year contract will finally bring glory back to Stamford Bridge. He's got blue in his veins, sunflower seeds in his pockets, and a permanent prayer for a clean sheet. Mr. Andriy Harubi.
Woo! Yeah, Andre.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep. Next is a guest whose footballing diet consists of entirely of espresso, codfish, and absolutely unadulterated chaos. Hailing from the beautiful land of Cristiano Ronaldo and coastlines, he somehow looked at the global football landscape and said, "You know what I need? More stress." This is a man who splits his loyalties between two very specific, highly volatile clubs. One side of the Atlantic, he braves Red Bull Arena in New Jersey, supporting a team that dominates the regular season just to invent spectacular new ways to break his heart in the MLS playoff. And on the other side of the pond, he watches Leeds United, a club that treats every single season like a terrifying soap opera where nobody knows if they're going to get promoted, relegated, or just starting a stadium-wide brawl. He's got the tactical passion of Jose Mourinho and the high-pressing anxiety of Jesse Marsch, and a liver currently fueled by Red Bull and Superbach. Mr. Justin Sousa.
Damn, I got a lot more.
Wow, that was an intro.
And
Way to really drill down on his anxiety.
Yeah. And finally, let's welcome our final co-host, a man whose footballing identity is a walking, talking psychological experiment. Hailing from the land of flawless tiki-taka and back-to-back international trophies, he brings a sophisticated Spanish football pedigree to the mic, but don't let his classy exterior fool you, because his club loyalties are a wild ride of emotional extremes. On one hand, he bleeds Barcelona, a club where winning La Liga is just a regular Tuesday, and they're always just one economic lever away from signing the next superstar. But apparently all that European glory and beautiful football made him feel a little too safe. So to balance out the universe, he decided to become a die-hard Tottenham Hotspur fan. He goes from watching beautiful modern Catalan, is that how you pronounce it? I don't care, masterclass, to spending his weekends screaming at the TV, wondering how Spurs managed to drop a 2-0 lead against a relegated side in the 94th minute. He's got the tactical elegance of Xavi, the eternal hope of Ange Postecoglou, and a wardrobe that's half cluttered with Champions League medals and half cluttered with Audi Cup memes. Mr. Ethan Cohen.
That was very good, Pooch. Very
Loves
good. You sound,
Teddy Taka.
yo,
Did I say that?
Pooch sounds like a modern Mamdani. Did you write one for yourself?
That was the vibe I was actually going for. I saw that speech today and I was like, I gotta write an intro. I know my boy Ethan's hurting here. He's feeling a little sick. Let me try my hand at a Mamdani masterclass.
Andami is also still modern.
No, Pooch is a young Mamdani. How's that?
Listen, no.
That's good.
I like Ethan's approach there. A modern Mamdani because I'm the next one. I'm next up.
You're next up. All right. Well, vote Pooch for next mayor. Congrats, Pooch.
Thank you.
What an intro. Thank you, Pooch, for taking it away, because I have been at a bit of a loss of words. A long day here. This is my flu game. I think I'm battling the big COVID in 2026, which on my end is soft. I'll put my hand up. That is very soft on my end. But very exciting episode. As Pooch mentioned, we do have a special guest here. We have Mr. Justin Sousa, our first guest, probably our biggest reoccurring guest at this point. Is that true, Sousa?
This is a three-peat, I believe.
Three-peat. So
My
congrats.
hat trick.
Yes, thank you, Sousa. Sousa has been on location, you could say, for the World Cup. He's been at a couple of the matches, so we're going to get his
Samba's on the ground.
take. There you go. Were you on the ground for Portugal, Dr. Congo?
No, I did not. I did not see Dr. Congo work his magic on Portugal, unfortunately. Well,
Okay.
maybe fortunately. But
Yeah, understandable. But let's get into it. First off, we'll start with some news away from the World Cup. A little bit of a bomba came out a day or two ago here. Victor Munoz to Liverpool. So Victor Munoz, Spanish national team player from Osasuna. Young boy up next. I think this is a very good signing for Liverpool. He spent a lot of his time in La Masia, finished his academy club time at La Fábrica for Real Madrid, went to Osasuna, and he's been lighting it up. So Liverpool are just spending money on attackers because I know they're also interested in Diomande for 100 mil. I guess they're just running the let's have 8 wingers forwards play. What do you guys think here?
My first thought, honestly, is that Rio and Guma went there for the pathway, and now they're signing a ton of wingers. I know he was linked to Munich a couple weeks ago, but I wonder if he survives this transfer onslaught or if he's going to choose to go again. And he seems like a boy who likes to bet on himself.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Rio, like you said, is it looked like he was about to go to Bayern. It looks like Liverpool were like, no, you're in the plans. And then you go and sign, essentially who would take his spot. So I wonder if that's also maybe Liverpool tipping their hand that maybe Rio is on the way out. There, Pooch, thoughts here?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Lack of ball knowledge.
No, legitimately lack of ball knowledge. I told you I'm trying to get more into La Liga throughout the year. Sadly, I just didn't watch a ton of Osasuna. Hand up, that's on me. Ethan's taking accountability. I'm taking accountability. Don't know him. I did see that Newcastle were linked to him before, and they got basically cucked again by Liverpool. Liverpool, I guess, is just doing what Chelsea did about half a decade ago, where any player that Arsenal was interested in, Chelsea was. Liverpool's doing the same. I guess they see Newcastle and they're like, any Newcastle player that they're interested in, they're like, we have more money. We're just going to go sign him. I agree with the pathway argument, but also at the same time, it feels like they're going to probably be losing a decent amount of wingers. I've seen Gakpo's basically on the block. Salah's gone.
Salah is gone.
That essentially they're not going to have a ton of wingers next year. We talk about it all the time about just like certain clubs being in like FFP stuff.
Right.
How is Liverpool getting away with it? They've lost 3 guys over the past, or they're going to be losing 3 guys over the past 18, 24 months on freeze, like Konate, Trent, Mo probably, where it's like, I guess they're freeing up wages in that sense, but like they're not bringing really any money into the club. So
which also they could have gotten like 100 plus probably from Saudi for Salah if they really knew that a year ago.
Yeah, I don't get how any of that works. FFP, obviously as a Barca fan. But more than anything, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because like you said, like who have they sold? Think about the last year. Who have they, like, of stature, right? Who have they sold? Like nobody.
Darwin?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Darwin, but like that wasn't a $200 million move, right? What did he even go for? Maybe
I think 60 or 70.
I was gonna say, right?
And then they instantly went and signed 2 strikers by selling one for even less.
Right, and then they also signed Florian Wirtz last summer, right? So I think they spent what $200 million at minimum between Isak, Ekatike, and Wirtz, and
plus
that
Frimpong.
Right, plus Frimpong, plus Kirkies, who I think they signed him for like 40 mil, right? He was of a decent value there. Yeah,
the players, real quick, the players out last year, so they did have a couple big ones.
Okay.
Kwanzaa left for 35 million euros.
Okay.
Louis Diaz left for 71 million euros.
Okay, that's the one we forgot there.
So that right there is 100 mil. And then Tyler Morton for 10, Nunez for 50, 160 in total. And then Ben Gannon Dope to Bournemouth for 25. So about like 185 last year.
Had
they
the prize
sold.
winning money too for winning.
Yes.
So like I could see, I guess they still have some income, but the fact we're forgetting that they signed Jeremy Jacquet too over the winter, and that was 64 million euros. This guy Munoz is 40. So that's 100 right there already spent this year. So Isak went 144
Still
million
spending
euros.
the Coutinho money.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna keep saying that. But
What's
yeah,
the,
no, they
what's the time period that it stretches over? Is it 3 years now, or is it still 5 years?
Good question. Ruby,
think
a
it's
resident amortization expert.
yeah, it's true.
I like getting caught up in the footy. I just let our back end team handle the finances. Everyone's always sending me some calculations being like, you have to sell 300 million euros in players this summer or else you're going under. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Give me a transfer ban. We'll be back.
That's kind of what
Wow.
I think Liverpool's looking at too. They're like, okay, if you transfer ban us, whatever, we'll deal with it and then come back anyways.
You can also probably look at them, and I'm just thinking too, maybe the years leading up to this, like they didn't really spend crazy. You know what I'm trying to
Slot's
say?
first year, they
No.
spent 0 and he won
Right.
the league. So they did save up a little bit.
Right. So maybe that's part of it too, right? Like just rolling it over in that case, because, that core has been together now since 2019 at the minimum, right? It's probably 2017. So I guess that makes sense where they've added pieces, but they're probably, very much in the green. And with a new manager coming in, they've decided, let's go for it. Yeah, we'll see. So for the
Also
transfer
wanted
window,
to check with Sousa for like 10 seconds because he's kind of one of our experts on youth football.
yes.
Has Victor Munoz made it to any of these forums? Like, is that a name people are hype about? Or is this also kind of like pooch out of the blue for you?
I'm a little bit out of the blue on this one. My youth soccer game is a little bit rusty over the last year or so. So unfortunately,
That's-
I have nothing to report on him. I mean, Yan Diamande, who I know they were also linked with, like I've actually liked him a lot as a player, especially because his story starts in the U.S. with him coming over. So that was, like a cool nugget that came out of last season. But unfortunately, not as clued up on Munoz as I probably should be.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit too. I think Ethan probably our La Liga expert, but I didn't even know how to feel about the signing.
I'm telling you right now, it's a good signing. He's a very good player. I think, and he's like 19.
What's your best player comp?
That's tricky.
Is he more like direct winger with
very
pace?
direct. Yes, he's very direct. He's not like an Anthony Gordon, right? Like he's more technical than that, but he's also like your classic like inverted forward off the left.
Pina?
I don't know if I'd call him yet, like quick short speed, right? He's like a shorter guy. He's probably like 5'9". Speed. He's a good dribbler and he's a goal scorer. He's not your winger who's going to beat your guy one-on-one and put a cross, and I'm sure he'll do a bit of that, but you know what I mean? Like, he's almost like a Luis Diaz, honestly, funny enough, in the same build of like a shorter, very quick, like, when I say quick, I'm talking not, he's not track runner speed. He's very, very quick, get on the ball, and his goal is target. His target is the goal, so I think it's a smart signing. I mean, this is a guy that I know Barca fans, before we signed Anthony Gordon, were saying we should bring him back. I know Madrid were considering bringing him back too, because in that Newcastle deal, because I don't know if you guys saw, he was linked to Newcastle to be the Anthony Gordon replacement. He supposedly Madrid was going to get a buyback clause in there. People are like, how the fuck do they have a buyback? They sold him to Osasuna, and I wonder if Osasuna did this specifically to just like get him to Liverpool and maybe that no buyback in that contract or percentage or whatever. But I think he's a player. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you get Yan Diomande in there and some of these other guys, I don't think he's your number one starter at week in and week out. But I do think this is a signing that over the next 5 years, you're going to be like, wow, that was a great signing. Maybe he then in a couple of years goes back to La Liga or something like that if one of the teams need him. But very good player. Again, he's young, so this was his first season with Osasuna, and he did really, really well. Osasuna were like relegation threatened. And he did really well. He was pretty much like their only player. He's made the Spanish national team. He's like the second string, third string left wing. So just to put in perspective, because obviously, to be on a team like Osasuna and then make it to the Spanish national team at that age kind of gives, a little clarity there too. But we'll see. I mean, the transfer window's kicked off. I know Spurs today, we announced Van Hecke. We've obviously got a couple guys in. I see a couple of the other clubs are finalizing deals as well. So
Spurs won Fernandez and Tonali. They're actually kind of waking up and trying, which I do respect.
Thank God. I mean, a lot of in all our Spurs chats that we have, it's pretty much like the owners are probably so scared now of how close we were to relegation that it's like it's time to buy. It worries me a little bit. Like, obviously the Tonali is exciting. Fernandez though means that there's probably, again, we're talking pathways, like a pathway block. Like we've all assumed Pape Matar is going to be sold this summer. I'm okay with that. But like Lucas Bergvall, like his role is just diminishing more and more. Archie Gray, I think he'll stay. He's like the club's like poster child at this point. I know Sousa loves Archie. But it's interesting. De Zerbi's had a lot to say, it seems, and it's interesting to see the path he's going because most Spurs fans were saying we need an Adam Wharton, and we've gone for a Tonali who's not necessarily like your progressive passer and all that. He's a little bit more aggressive, physical, going to win duels in the midfield.
Pooch's guy.
I know, Pooch's guy right there. And then Fernandez, I know he's a great player. I haven't watched enough of him, but we're clearly going for experience. It's clear like that 24 to 26-year-olds range is where we're trying to make our signings, which I like.
And I do like the ambition, but still back pocket, it could be Eze-esque where Arsenal still just swoop in and get Tonali end of the day.
I'm not celebrating anything until we actually get him. But, and apparently now like City are back in for Tonali, looking to maybe try and get that done. I think they probably weren't expecting Spurs to push as hard. What I didn't realize is De Zerbi actually coached Tonali at Brescia. In the patch. So they have, like, I think this is very, very, very De Zerbi-esque. And talking about a progressive passing, I think, and I've said this in some of our chats, signing Van Hecke, signing Senesi, those are two players who are very good on the ball and have very good progressive passing. I think that's where we're going to get that passing. De Zerbi wants to play a lot of quick passing rotations through the middle. And I think he's like, I'm not worried about having like, for instance, Locatelli, who is like the best progressive passing midfielder in Europe, right? I don't need my midfielder to do the work. I'll let my center backs do that work. I need midfielders that are going to win the ball and can just be tidy.
You do see in the Prem often now where center backs are actually getting more of the ball than midfielders in a lot of games.
100%, 100%. So I'm excited. I mean, I want to get Savinho in. That for me would be awesome. Just like, you know, I know you would love that Rubes getting another Brazilian winger in, but we'll see. I'd also love for, I don't know, maybe a little bomba. Harry Kane's family's unsettled. He wants to break the Prem scoring title. He's reached out to Tottenham representatives. He's coming home, but that's a Pooch fan fiction. But let's move into the next bit of news here. Pooch, you wrote this down. Ivory Coast player Wahi, is that how you say this? Wahi?
Yes.
Yeah, he can't play in Canada because of gambling charges, right? He was match fixing.
Yeah, so since it's an active investigation similar to Thomas Partey where he can't play in Canada, Wahi is the same exact way, but for match fixing, where they both have active investigations going on. So Canada won't give them a visa to play in the nation.
So Pooch, as someone who has a Thomas Partey jersey, like, what is your take on this?
Well, don't have a Thomas Partey jersey.
Okay, yeah. Well, so you don't have, but hypothetically, if you did, right? Like, wink, wink.
Hypothetically, we can go with a hypothetical.
Okay.
Hypothetically, if I did, I'd probably burn it.
Okay, fair. Is that what you did?
I never had one.
You sold it on eBay?
No, you would wear your Partey. Cherry would be in his Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs jersey, yeah.
Oh, and then Harubia would be in his Marcus Alonso.
That's crazy. So what jersey would you wear?
We're going on hypotheticals here. We're doing hypotheticals.
Yeah, guess Sousa.
Ethan would be in his referee jersey.
Sosa's just in his Ronaldo jersey. Sosa actually owns it. Wow.
Homelander.
Thoughts? Homelander.
Great showing this past week, too.
Yeah.
TT burned him.
I mean, yeah.
Are you guys talking about the actual show? Because I don't watch that.
No, I was saying that Thierry Henry was pretty critical of Ronaldo, calling him his play selfish after the game, saying that he was more focused on scoring than Portugal winning.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you said Kiki. I was like, I don't know who the hell Kiki is. I did see I think his comment was...
Let's save it for the Portugal review.
We'll save it for the Portugal review, yes.
I will say on Wahi, Wahi has had many scandals over the years. I think he got kicked out of his academy for physically threatening peers. He, I think, got accused. I don't know if he was found guilty or innocent of like an incident in a nightclub, maybe physical altercation with a woman. So now another scandal.
I mean,
all over the place.
I remember when he was at Ajax on loan, and the manager literally came out in an interview after like 5 games after he didn't score, and they're like, "You just spent so much money on this guy, like a loan obligation to buy." And the manager was like, "Yeah, he's treating like his like makeshift apartment like Burning Man. Like,
oh my
it's
God.
just crazy right now." Yeah. That was me in Football Manager, by the way. Nobody picked up on that. So yeah, that was my reasoning to the media and Football Manager, where he hadn't scored in 5 games, and I did a custom message in the press conference saying he's treating his apartment like Burning Man. I don't know how to get through to him. We need to really talk and sit down.
We owe you an apology for not knowing Eli Wahi's career path prior to knowing he had a gambling
That's on me. As a ball knower, I knew Victor Munoz. I'm sorry I didn't know this guy, but I only know ethical ballers. So apologies there. All right, let's get into the World Cup games. So round 1 is done. Honestly, just overall recap of the games, I've enjoyed. I've watched probably 75% of the games, and like even the ones that have been a little bit slower or not as, um, high goal scoring things like I've really enjoyed the games. I've enjoyed the atmosphere at the games and the storylines. But I think we will start with the game that happened last week before he was on. Sousa, give us your breakdown of the USA game. What were your thoughts there?
Nothing but pure joy and ecstasy. Those are all of my thoughts.
You a drug guy?
Yeah, big.
Those who don't know, he had literal tears in his eyes and was sending it to the chat. He was sambas on the ground in the stadium. So this is very authentic reaction.
Tears in his eyes, cream in his jeans.
I think I can't remember if it was Pooch or Ethan that said you had butters on the ground, but I had to respond with sambas on the ground. No, I remember, like, I'm never going to forget Gio Reyna's goal, even though it was the fourth one, because it was like, I'm sitting up in one of the suites that we have for work, and there's a guy a couple of chairs down from me. Reyna hits the trivela, and the two of us at the same time are both just like hands on head, like mouth agape, not knowing what we just saw, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we all taken aback by Sousa there. All right, no problem.
Question for you: how was food and drink at SoFi?
Good question.
We had granola bars to eat as staff, so
God, oh God, they didn't feed you?
I was doing the mental battle of like, what do I actually say right now as the answer? But I'll be honest, it was just granola bars.
That's crazy.
When I got to the actual hospitality space, it was pretty sick. They had like fried octopus.
And you decided not to eat any of that.
It's against company policy, sir. I don't know. It's not from company policy, but you're not supposed to eat on the job. Eat the food for the hospitality guests on the job.
Second question. It seems like you were running into some celebrities in and around the area. Who caught your eye the most?
Well, at the Morocco-Brazil game, R9 and Ronaldinho, I think we're both there.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
So the level that the lounge that I was in was
and
here.
The pod there.
They came out like right above us. So that was pretty cool seeing them. And then I was working it was a blue carpet. The entire women's national team came through there. That was pretty sick. Rob Lowe came through. He's one of our ambassadors for the company. So Josh Peck was there, childhood hero.
Wow. Good for Josh Peck. Didn't know he had money like that.
Trudeau? You run into Trudeau at the US game or no?
No.
I think you did see Puyol though.
Oh yeah, I did. I did see him, and I saw
Jackson
him
Dart.
talking about Mark Bartrow.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart.
My goat.
Draymond? 23 money green?
No.
Not in the
Coutinho and
building.
Ronaldo is crazy though. That's literally, I didn't know about that actually, so I'm stunned right now.
Yeah. Just the mention of them.
Yeah, so if there's one celebrity that you're willing to just be like, screw my job, I want to get a picture with this guy, who would it be? If you're running into him at these games.
Right now, it's Harrison Ford, and he was supposed to be walking through the blue carpet. He was on the list of people who were allegedly walking through. He's on Shrinking, which I'm watching right now, which is like one of my favorite shows. And then
also Indiana Jones.
All of his older movies, but I'm just saying like right now he's top of mind.
Han Solo.
Miles Teller.
Yeah.
What
It's
about
like a
Wahi?
Nardwuar interview. Well, yeah. What would you do if you saw Wahi?
I'd have to take a picture just to send to you guys. I know you guys would want.
Yeah, big Wahi
Put on the
guys.
class's permanent story.
Exactly.
What about Pepe?
He was at the
Pepe?
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know if I'd stop what I'm doing and take a photo of him. I'd definitely be like starstruck.
Jose Sa?
Good
No.
question.
Rui Patricio?
Oh, legend.
Honestly, at
Leyenda.
this point, I don't think I could pick him out of a lineup because his facial hair keeps changing.
Nelson Semenyo?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, Nelson Semedo has just burned way too many clubs. When he was at Barca, we fucking hated him. And then I guess you guys got stuck with him at Portugal. I don't know how he keeps getting called up. That guy's
I mean, when he was
ass.
on the roster, I sent you guys the screenshot. I'm like, I don't know how he keeps showing up on.
Just,
Who invited Blood?
it's just like, well, careful, Rubes. We don't want you to. Are you gang affiliated?
Blood, BLUD, British slang, not New York slang.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
is
you
that
for clarifying.
Chicago?
Why don't you take a deep dive and let us know later?
I'll report back.
You'll report back. But let's get into World Cup recap.
Real quick, one last.
Yeah, I'll
one
just go
for
fuck
Sosa.
myself.
The entire Besiktas team.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know it was on that roster. You wonder.
That'd be cool, right?
If all 26 first teamers for Besiktas walked through, you would have to take a picture with every single one of them.
Why would I have to do that?
When do you see a full 26 just out and about.
That's
I
true.
saw the women's national team full 26 walkthrough. I couldn't stop to take a picture with them.
Who was the baddest?
Nah, good question.
25 minutes cut. All right, let's get into a recap here of some of the games. Great. Spain 0-0. Cape Verde was our first one. I'll get into this. This is one of the worst misprofilings I have ever seen by a manager ever. Luis de la Fuente, I just could not believe what I was watching. I didn't leave this game like sad. I didn't leave this game like, I left this game with such an anger at de la Fuente, and like, I don't know. It just felt like watching a bus go off a cliff, but it has a mile and a half to stop, and the brakes are working just fine.
Are you giving him the Tunisia treatment? Is he gone after game one?
Low key? No. Listen, I believe in the guy long term, but like, here's my TLDR for you guys is, first things first, for those that watch the game, right? You have no proper wingers out wide. You're playing a 4-3-3 with Gavi at left wing and Ferran Torres at right wing, or here's the ball through the middle, right? So you have no proper wingers. And then you're playing, obviously, Cucurella on the left, who's pretty much going to provide your only width of the game on either side. And then Marcus Llorente on the right, Marcus Llorente, although I like him as the starting fullback, he is not like a true, like a Cucurella, like fullback who's going to go up, provide width, throw crosses in, and stretch the field that way. So at points, you have Cape Verde defending with legitimately 11 players in their box. They didn't even keep a striker up. Like, they had everyone in their own half, in their own 18. And then on top of that, you have our entire team essentially funneled into the box too, just swinging the ball from left to right with nothing. Horrific. I know a lot of people were like, oh, they didn't play well. I honestly didn't think the team played poorly, but it just felt so like they were looking around like, what do you want us to do? Right? Like, we have, Ferran Torres is not a right winger in that sense, right? He is an inverted wing, if anything, when he's played on that side, right? He's a true striker. Or the ball did nothing. He didn't touch the ball for 30 minutes, by the way. Yes, Pooch, hand raised.
I don't want to ruin. I was really hoping you'd call on me after your train of thought.
Sure.
But now that we're here, do you think the reason of the loss is because you guys let in it's a loss because you guys let in a loser with a loser mentality from Real Madrid, Marc Cucurella?
Yeah, first off, that's
you guys didn't have the stench before the game.
You're right.
You guys were stenchless. No Real Madrid players.
Marc Cucurella, who had the game-winning assist in the Euros final. By the way,
no. Hold on.
He's not your player anymore, Rubes. You're good.
Once a blue, always a blue. He didn't betray me. We betrayed
I had my hand raised. Hold on.
Pooch has his hand raised.
I had my hand raised. You can't. Yep. All I'm saying is when he was a Chelsea player, this team was projected to win the whole tournament. He turned to become a Real Madrid player, and they're drawing Cape Verde. That's all I'm saying is you guys let one of those Madristas, into the locker room, and all of a sudden it's like I'm seeing reports that like Marino and Zubamendi are fist fighting in the locker room after the game. I don't want that for my team. Like, and that's the Real Madrid influence.
That is. You're totally right. And I will even argue that we didn't let him in. Real Madrid actually infiltrated us because they signed him after he was already.
Yeah. They literally said we need one person on the team.
Scumbags.
Exactly.
But
exactly. It's Madrid's fault that you guys lost.
Yeah. Long story short, here is listen, if you wanted to run that lineup and just think, okay, with like the strength of our team, we'll still score goals and get a result. I understand that. But after 45 minutes, you should have been like, all right, this is not going to work, and made some changes. And for me personally, if you weren't going to bring in Lamine and Nico with at least the 60th, then you should have just decided that their day was done. To throw them on in the 75th felt very like save the day. And I understand that's the point of subs, but my point is like, are they not fit enough to play longer? Or did you just decide it wasn't until the 75th that you're like, oh, we're in danger? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm like part of that frustration came from.
I do think, like you said, when the other team is playing so narrow and really getting everyone behind the ball, it's kind of hard to get that titty-taka through them. So you need to have some of those direct wingers. If you truly, Nico and Lamine aren't 100% fit, like maybe that is a scenario where a Victor Munoz could come on, or one of these other wingers. Like, you can't just have Lamine and Nico injured and then all of a sudden have no backup plan. It felt a little bit like the plan failed and he was afraid to adjust it until, like you said, 15 minutes left. And even then, you're just putting on the players that you originally wanted to rest.
Right. And that's what frustrated me too, is the plan failed by the end of the first half. It was clear that the plan had failed. And if you wanted to give them another 10 to 15 minutes in the second half after adjustments, I'm with it, right? Like, I understand that. But in the 60th minute, you should have said, this isn't working. We have 30 minutes left here. I'm going to go and put us back in our typical, like, 4-2-3-1, right? First off, when you're playing against a low block, Danny Olmo is the most valuable player in the world. He is so good in these tight spaces.
Very surprised he didn't start that game.
Exactly, right? And I get it, but Cabo Verde was supposed to be your easiest matchup, so I get maybe giving some other guys some minutes, especially if Danny Olmo is going to be maybe your starter throughout the rest of the tournament. But again, you brought him in the 80th minute. You should be bringing these guys on the 60th.
We said on the pod, if that's a game where you could be more offensive, that's where you play Olmo because he can be in the 10. In some of those tougher games, I'm okay with the Fabian, Rodri, Pedri, because you might need to sit a little bit deeper and control the midfield more. But this is exactly the game where you do want to have a 10 on the field.
Yeah, I don't understand what his thought process was. When I saw the lineup, at first I was just excited to see Gavi. I was just happy to see him start, but I didn't really think about it. And then when I watched us, I was like, what are we doing here? For me, right, you also have Alex Baena, you have Yeremy Pino, and like you said, you have Victor Munoz on this team, plus Pedro Porro, who could be a proper wingback the same way as Cucurella. So you start none of them, right? And essentially, like, if you were doing career mode, you like, and I don't know if you guys do this when you do your tactics on career mode, and the bottom gives you like, there's like a pentagon. And it shows you like, oh, like how wide your team plays, how build up, like your width would be inverted. Right? Like, you'd be like, oh, this doesn't look good. I don't know what he was thinking and where he thought the goals and the play would come from. Overall, I didn't think we played poorly. I just think it was like, I explained it to my family.
The goalie played bonkers, like literally has more followers, like they were showing than all those NBA players. Like, he just blew up.
I don't want to take credit from the goalie. I think he played really well, especially for a goalie that no one had ever heard of and all that. He made 8 saves. I also don't think we really threatened him. Like, there was maybe 1 or 2 saves there. I was like, oh, that was like very well done. But I didn't feel like it was like he was pulling things out of corners. He kind of like Ferran Torres hit the crossbar one.
If you keep a clean sheet versus Spain in game 1,
100%,
like, you just did your job.
100%, and fair play to them. Like, that is probably one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, right? Yes, Pooch.
Yeah, Pooch from the Classes Permanent Pod.
Thank you, Pooch.
Nice to talk to you again. Thanks for
calling
on me. Do you have a problem with Rodri's loser attitude after the game, complaining against the team, complaining that a team played 11 behind the ball against Spain?
100%.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, what do you expect them to do? But at the same time, like, I can understand him being frustrated. Like, well, yeah, they played 11 behind the ball. There's something to say about that, but it's also like, well, what did you want them to do?
We knew that was going to happen.
Every team plays Spain that way, essentially. Outside of like your top 10 teams in the world, everybody ends up doing that. And you saw in the 2018 World Cup where we didn't have any game changers, same shit. We would just possess and just swing the ball left to right. And Russia took us to a penalty shootout. And we're like, we'll just beat you here, right? Morocco did the same. Yes, Pooch. Ruby actually had his hand up first.
From a hater's point of view, Justin Sousa, Iberian Peninsula brother, what are your biggest thoughts on this game?
Well, I was going to ask, and not that this should be like the plan B all the time, but if this isn't a game where you're subbing on a natural striker like Iglesias, then like what game are you subbing him on?
100%.
Because like in my mind, he's taking up the space of the center backs there, and he's, if anything, clearing room in the middle for your more creative players that have space to be on the ball. I get like the fluency that Spain plays with, and like in an ideal world, that's you don't need a natural striker. I mean, Spain has almost never needed a natural striker to be successful. But like I'm looking at him on the bench, and again, like I don't think he's the plan B or plan C. But if you're in this situation, like when are you ever going to throw him on? Like what's the point of having him?
I couldn't agree with that more. That was something I didn't even think about during the game because I was so focused on like, can we bring on Danny Olmo? Can we bring on? I wasn't even asking for Lamine or Nico in this game. I was like, can you bring on Alex Baena? Can you bring on Victor Munoz? Like, what is the point of bringing these guys on your roster if your plan isn't? First off, for me, it's like, why are we even changing our tactics essentially, right? Like, why? Like, you should be playing the same tactics and just rotating, right? Like, all right, Nico and Lamine are out. I'm going to put on Victor Munoz, who plays very similar to Nico, like inverted kind of, goal threat winger. And then on the right, maybe I'll bring on Yeremy Pino, who's a little bit more of a playmaker and could probably beat his man. Or my thought is, we're going to play Ferran off the right. He's going to play like a second striker with Oyarzabal. Let me bring on Pedro Porro off the right. And then this way I have a little bit of width on that side because Pedro Porro loves getting up the field. But I agree with you. Like, Oyarzabal didn't touch the ball for 30 minutes. At some point, you got to look, okay, can we take Oyarzabal off and bring on Iglesias? And maybe he could just, be just a fox in the box, essentially, right? A big body, throw crosses in. And first, they kept showing De La Fuente as he was talking to his staff. At first, he didn't look worried, but then around the 70th, he looked worried. And I was like, fuck. I was like, how arrogant do you have to be here? I could have told you after 35 minutes this wasn't going to work. It was just clear what their game plan was a 0-0 draw is a 3-0 win for them. And they just did not, no changes happened at all. I saw no changes throughout the team.
Definitely shout out to them, though, because it still takes so much mental focus. But yes, the cutie in the top left-hand corner.
Wait, that's you.
Pooch,
for me, you're in the top left.
Okay, yeah. Another question for me. Last question for me. Percentage of blame you put on Unai Simon?
0%.
0.
Flawless.
You think he did a better job than a David Raya or a João Garcia would have done?
Yes, I think he did a very good job.
Really? Okay.
I'm gonna back my players. I'm gonna back my players on my team.
Just don't forget, Garcia's your player too.
No, I know he is, but.
So you're Unai Simon over Garcia. I'll take Garcia at Arsenal if you don't want him, because it sounds like you don't want him.
So that means that you've just said that you don't want David Raya, that you rank Garcia above David Raya.
This wasn't a question to me.
He might not want Kepa.
This was a question
he might not want Kepa.
Yeah, exactly.
This was the game that they're rotating. They're giving Unai Simon a game.
No, they're not. No, that's their goalkeeper. De La Fuente's guy. You said he respects his guys. There's a reason Laporte was there playing.
Laporte played well.
He should have started. No, he did not.
Yes,
Super
he did. You don't know
irrelevant, but how funny was it when Luis Enrique was the coach? Ferran Torres was dating his family member.
His daughter.
And his daughter.
Right?
And Luis Enrique was just like, as long as he doesn't do the ball under the belly celebration, we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, I miss him. Unai Simon, 7.4 rating. Decently high. Also, Pedro at 8.6. No big deal. Go.
What was Garcia's rating?
What was David Raya's?
I'm asking you. I don't know. You just pulled up Unai Simon.
Here, I'll give you both of theirs. 0.0.
Okay. Does this result, Ethan, give you any concern about playing Saudi Arabia next, especially given how well they did play against Uruguay? Like, in
question.
From my perspective, like, if Lamine or Nico, if you have one or the other or both, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
But part of me in following a national team that always plays in the horseshoe of death and they just pass for nothing, like, is kind of like, does this make everybody anxious in the squad after the first game?
The reason I'm going to say no is because, again, I don't think they perform badly. If we ran our true, normal tactics, essentially, and we had maybe Baena and Pino on, and we couldn't figure it out, I'd be more concerned. Because, I wouldn't have had a problem. I'd be like, well, no, they lined up correctly. This looks good. There was, they just defended deep, and, we got to figure out a way to score. It's the fact that the entire game, to me, was just so mismanaged. If the next game they can't get a result, that's going to give me an issue. But the point is once Lamine came on, I think he created, 4 chances. The chances came like that. And you could say it's Lamine, and not to discredit him because he obviously did great. He was getting triple teamed. So my point is if you brought up Pino and you brought on someone else, I think the chances are there because now all of a sudden, like Harubi mentioned earlier, when you're playing a team that plays so compact, if you get the ball out wide, someone has to go out and defend them. You're now stretching them, which we just did not do.
And you might need to beat one man. You just have to create one sliver of space.
That's it. And a guy like Danny Olmo, if he was on, may have done it by himself through the middle. You saw him at the last Euro, what he did against France, I think, where he kind of bounced between two and scored. We didn't have any of that in this team.
It has been a pattern for Spain now in World Cups, though, where it's been disappointing performances. The only sliver of hope I could give you is in 2010, they were the first team in history to lose their first match and go on to win the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm really not stressed about it. The other thing I think is this is probably one of the only teams in the tournament that we're going to sit with legitimately, they legitimately had 11 players in their box. They didn't, most teams will play that way and have 2 or 3 kind of up a little higher. Our center backs were standing 25 yards out from goal. I started yelling for our center backs to shoot. That's how close they were. So, Saudi is going to play us, which I think actually is going to hurt Saudi because if you open up space and we're going to play our full 11, I think that's where we would love extra space. It definitely helped out as well that Uruguay drew. So listen, I'm not too stressed. I'm frustrated, but it wasn't like a worrying performance. It wasn't like Lamine came on and played like shit. It wasn't like Pedri played like like they played well. It's just like you put your first baseman at pitcher and you're like, well, wait, why isn't this working? It's like, well, yeah, the guy's not a pitcher, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no shit, it doesn't look right. So here's what it is, but we can move on to another game. That's enough on Spain. Let's move on to another game that I think most people looked at and said, maybe I'll skip this one, but actually was a pretty good one. Iran versus New Zealand 2-2. Exciting. I wasn't expecting this from New Zealand. I think New Zealand are one of the lowest ranked teams in this World Cup. Iran has actually been a pretty good soccer nation the past couple tournaments, so fair play to them, but what a match.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak on this game a bit. Elijah just gets it done.
Yeah.
Just would.
You called it. You literally called it.
I know. I called it on last episode. I said, watch out for Elijah Just. No, I really enjoy these games. I think Sousa texted us while this game was going on just about World Cup After Dark games, how they've just been incredibly awesome to watch. I feel like it's just because they're so open. It's probably a bit cooler at night compared to during the day.
That makes sense.
And it's just something about like a game starting at 10 or midnight or 9 p.m. Yeah, where it's just like, that maybe a decent amount of people, the eyes aren't going to be on it. And like these teams, they just ball out. So I really enjoyed this game in terms of just how open it was and kind of there was no sitting back there. Everybody's just playing kind of footy. So I enjoyed it. I think Australia or not Australia, New Zealand, they have a decent attack. I don't know about their defense. I know Sousa, they have their star defender, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Is for the Rapids currently, right?
No, that's the Australian.
Yeah, the Australian.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's linked with Barca right now, which is insane.
But both center backs for New Zealand do play in MLS. Boxall plays for Minnesota and Sermon plays for Portland.
And
That's
I think
a trend I've noticed too is
Sermon.
more MLS players for different
Everywhere.
teams in the World Cup.
Everywhere.
All
Croatia
over.
was full of them.
Croatia had him.
Petr Musa, yeah. Petr Musa came over from Benfica to play for Dallas, and like that was a mini, like, I'm not going to say he was like a big player that I'm surprised teams didn't like capitalize on, but I'm surprised he didn't go to like an Ajax or a PSV or something.
Yeah.
But after,
Truin was chatting shit about USA before this.
Who?
Trubin?
And I believe he's Australian, plays for NYCFC. He said he's never wanted to win a game more in his entire life.
Yeah, they
it's
don't like
super
us.
interesting too, because like there's no historic rivalry between the USA and Australia. It strictly comes from the friendly they played a couple months ago, where like it got a little chippy in Colorado.
Okay.
I thought it was more of an MLS thing, like he lives here.
No, it's just like it's like legitimately because the friendly got chippy for whatever reason. From the US camp, they've all been like, they've all seemed pretty respectful of Australia, like knowing that they're a competitive nation. So I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game regardless tomorrow. I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Good stuff there. Moving on, I guess Iran, New Zealand. Any last points there? Or are we going to move on to France, Senegal?
The only thing I like is I think we've only had 1-0-0. So like we said, you could watch a 9 p.m. game under the lights and it'll just be a banger of a footy match. But I think it's a lot of draws.
A lot of draws this World Cup. There was a guy I saw on TikTok who is betting $100 on every single game to draw. And there was one day that we had 4 straight draws, including Spain, Cape Verde. He must be fucking raking it in. That's insane. Like, because the draw is always plus money. So insane. But moving on, a game I thoroughly enjoyed. France 3, Senegal 1. I'm sorry, Pooch. I know those are your Senegalese. I was rooting for Senegal, but really enjoyable game here from start to finish. France, the technical skill of every single player is just ridiculous. Like, it's different than Brazilian. It's just like they're holding LB in FIFA where you're just kind of like ball rolling the whole time. They just like the quick little touches. Insane. I don't even know what they're doing.
It kind of does remind me of like old 2002, 2006 Brazil teams where you're literally just bringing world-class players off the bench. Everyone is a nightmare to defend and different types of talent where Mbappe is just sheer like pace, power, striking ability. But now you have someone like Mikel Olise to like really make the thing tick and have those line splitting balls to really unlock a defense.
Those passes were ridiculous. Those passes were insane. I think he had the assist to Mbappe. I think he had another one, maybe to Doué or somebody, where they didn't score on it. But like, Olise is just a player, man. One of my favorite players to watch. Just a player.
I will have to say,
Barcola off the bench.
yeah, Barcola and Turkey off the bench is insane. I will say too, I feel like every time he gets called up, everybody's kind of like, why? But Adrien Rabiot is like a different player for France.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
insane the way that he levels up for them. And like, it's not to say he's a bad player. I just think there's so much random off-field nonsense around him that people are just like, this guy's way more of a hassle than he should be.
Well, his mom's his agent, right? Isn't it like part of it?
It's like the familial stuff. And I think the last World Cup, or like the one that France won, there was a bunch of stuff within the camp. It was very much like France is going to implode type of energy.
Right.
But I mean, all due respect to Didier Deschamps, they don't look like they're going to, and they haven't for his entire
tenure. Well, let me tell you something.
Hard job for Zizou to follow.
Dembele, welcome to the bench, brother. He is ass, bro. This dude does nothing.
Ousmane Ballon d'Or, Ousmane Ballon d'Or, Ousmane Ballon d'Or.
I could do the same thing. Ousmane is shit. Ousmane was shit. Okay, like I could do the same thing. Get that brother on the bench. Ass.
Real quick, was he ass or was Diouf just that good?
We'll leave that to the fans.
I mean,
do we come up with a nickname for
like
fans
two players around, and Senegal completely fell apart. So I'm going to go with the former.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough to the set.
I thought Senegal played good for 50 minutes in that game.
Yes.
And like that, honestly, they lost 3-1. But as my pick to make the quarterfinals, I felt confident after watching that, being like, they can beat Norway, they can beat Iraq, they can finish second in this group, and then get through a couple knockout games. Like, they have the depth to be able to do it. They didn't start some players that I thought they were going to start. I would have thought they started Iliman and Jai for Everton. I would have thought that they would have started Jacobs, I believe, for Fenerbahce, or what's the other Turkish club?
Galat.
I think it is Fenerbahce.
Besiktas.
Anyway.
And they almost pulled it back late. Like, it was 2-1, and then Mbappe just hit a screamer. But, like, it could have gone another way. It's not like they lost 7-1.
Yeah, and in the first half, Nico Jackson had a few great runs where it's either he was offside or just, like, missed. But he was their best player out there. They have the depth in the midfield that, like, you look at. Like, even Sarr, like, Tottenham Sarr, or I think he started. But, like, they're bringing in, like, Idrissa Gana Gueye, like, to, like, I don't know. I just felt confident after watching that, seeing them hold their own for 50 minutes against a team that's in the conversation to win it all.
Yeah.
If a few balls bounce their way in that first half, they can grab an early lead and maybe hold on to it.
Let me tell you something. Nico Jackson is ass. I don't care. Everyone talks about his link-up play, his pressing. That guy is ass. I've never seen Nico Jackson score a goal in my life.
He scored a hat trick versus Tottenham.
I didn't watch that game. I've never seen this guy score a goal in my life, bro. Every time I watch him, he's like Ferran Torres, but without like sick hair.
I will say, go ahead. I wanted two
Sadio
more points.
Mane,
Go ahead.
Ass. Dude is washed. Get him off the field. Get me Iliman Njai. No, Sadio Mane, I think just in this type of game, you're just not going to get the ball enough. You know what I mean? Just with lack of possession.
And we'll mention it later on for another game. But realistically, I think Senegal did the opposite of what Algeria did, where they basically started maybe their older star and kind of expected him to do something, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Where maybe if they do put Njai in instead of Mane, maybe they have a different outcome, but I don't know. I think France probably, at the end of the day, Senegal needed to score a goal in the first half when they had them on the ropes, and they just didn't. And then once that second half started, you saw France's quality kind of shine through. I think if Senegal had that early goal in the first half, it may have been a different story. But yeah.
Yeah. Two things I was going to say. I am still a Dembele believer, but it does make me think a little bit. Kind of, you've now exited Luis Enrique's system where you were so comfortable. It reminds me of Phil Foden stepping out of Pep Guardiola's system and looking completely different within England than he did for his club team. So just a thought I had there. And then with Mbappe, he's kind of building one of those unreal international legacies where you're now France's all-time top scorer. He's only, I think, a goal or two behind all-time World Cup scorers. He has a World Cup in his pocket. So he still has a lot to desire on the club level, but internationally, he's really building that reputation for himself. And when we grew up, I feel like the way they talked about Maradona and the way they talked about Pele, all they cared about was international football. In our generation, now it's switched over where we've been club focused. But I wonder where Mbappe is going to fall on his legacy, depending on how that international legacy plays out.
I mean, if he wins 2 and ends his career as the top goal scorer internationally at the World Cup, like, he's gotta be in a conversation of some sort.
Yeah.
I don't like, he still needs to win the Champions League because, like you mentioned, nowadays it's all surrounded around club football, but I don't know. If he wins 2 and it feels like he does kind of have that Rabiot instinct where it's like he shows up for France,
He has
maybe
like
not
4
as much
World
at the
Cup
club
final
level.
goals too, I think. I think he's like
Yeah.
1 away from most goals in finals too, so it's every round he's stepped up.
Yeah, he's a baller. I will say that final goal, great shot. A little disappointed with the goalkeeping. I feel like Mendy could have done slightly better. It didn't feel like maybe he was a little caught off guard. I think I would have been too. But this wasn't like a piss missile to the top corner. This kind of felt a little bit like, and I'm only saying it because if I was the Senegalese teammate, it's like, listen, maybe we lose the game regardless. But 3-1 versus 2-1 also changes goal differential, changes, you know what I mean? Maybe you know, he makes the save and we go on. But yeah, so I'm getting a lot of praise for that goal, and I was just a little bit like, could have probably been better.
I mean, I think he saw that he you get praised for it because he saw the chance and took it. Like he caught completely unaware. Like it was just a chance that popped up.
Eduardo Fraud
But
Mendy.
as far as guys holding goal scoring records, next game, Messi hat trick. He's tied close to it for most goals.
This man is the GOAT.
It was also the day of stars. You had Mbappe to Haaland to Messi hat trick. The schedule makers cooked with that, but I'll hit it one time only for the fans. Muchachos, ahora no volvimos ilusionar. Quiero ganar la tercera. Quiero ser campeón mundial. Ya llego. En el cielo lo podemos ver. And he's the GOAT.
The GOAT. I mean, this dude could continue to do it. Like, if he was still in Europe, he would still be doing it. Ridiculous.
I don't know if you guys saw his, I don't know if it was the first or second goal, but they had a camera angle that was just specifically, or maybe they cropped the camera specifically onto Messi. And he legitimately stood there for about 30 seconds in one single position while Algeria and his Argentinian teammates like battled around for the ball. The ball just happened to bounce to him. He takes a couple of dribbles and ends up scoring off of basically doing nothing off the ball.
Yeah.
But I think like a lot of teams get credit for having an identity where like the style of play is tiki taka or pressing or what have you. I think what Argentina's like style of play has become and like what their identity is as of last World Cup, they finally figured out how to essentially bodyguard around Messi so
100%.
that all he has to do is stand in place and wait for the ball to get to him.
They all willing to die for him and they just do the dirty work.
Exactly. And so it's like once the ball gets to him, he's not exhausted from having to defend. Ethan, to your point, like he could still be doing it in Europe, but I think the fact that he's playing in MLS preserves his body. He doesn't have to exert as much energy there either.
Mentally too.
Like he's just fresh for Argentina. So it's like get him the ball. His energy is just dribbling at players, taking defenders out, and then scoring. It's actually
I've never seen a player of that age play at that quality. It's like, sure, he's not as fast as he was when he was 22, but the left foot is the same. His intuition is the same. He knows how to read the game. I truly just have never seen anyone like him.
It's like effortless.
CR7?
Ooh. Do we want to talk about CR7 now, or do we want to save CR7?
No. The only two things I had on this game was one off of what Sousa said, like, and what we said earlier about Pele and Maradona, where it feels like all they cared about was the World Cups. To Sousa's point, like with him preserving his body and being fresh for Argentina, that's basically what his career is at this point. Like, it's basically like, let me turn up for Argentina and like kind of play in the MLS. Like, it's not like he's just fully like doing Maradona where he's doing coke off a toilet seat like before games, but like he really turns it up for Argentina. And then the second part of this game was, it was just crazy seeing how many Argentinians were in Kansas City for this game.
It's the most
And,
blue
like,
Kansas
I mean, I
City's
could
ever
literally
been.
hear muchachos through the TV as
Yeah.
clear as daylight.
Muchachos.
Okay, we're not doing it again.
Yeah. No.
It is insane the way that the Argentinians travel. And I mean, I was talking to my dad about this as we were watching it. Part of it is also probably not actual Argentinians, just fans. But still, like, that may have been a bigger home advantage than the USA had against Paraguay. Like,
South American footy does it different. I said I had them as my 1-2 on that list. Like, they just do it different.
Yeah, the passion's
Also-
ridiculous.
Also, just switching to Algeria, just a shit performance. I don't know if I felt bad for Lucas Zidane, because I don't like two
When
of
they
the three
panned to
goals.
his father, I felt bad.
Was-
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like,
the head
two-
shaking
two-
was insane.
2 out of the 3 goals were 100% his fault. Like, he probably could have saved those shots.
Yeah.
I didn't he like break his jaw or something because the
He's
ball
got the whole
shot
mask.
in
Well,
his
he's got the
face.
thing around his face, yeah.
Yeah, so like, and I saw like a picture of him in training with the Algerian team before
Scared.
this, scared of the ball, and they said that there's been like a goalie like debate in Algeria, basically who's gonna start. And I think honestly, Algeria, for the sake of continuing in this tournament, you have to turn to the backup in game 2. Like, you have
Yeah.
to at least try it, because clearly Luka, like, he just wasn't up for game 1. And it sucks because you know that if they turn to the goalie game 2, you can't go back to Zidane because
Yeah.
his confidence is then shot. So it's like you have to decide, like, are you going to be ruthless and be like, this backup goalie gives us a better shot? Or are you going to sit there and be like, you want to know what? We stuck with him. He was the best goalkeeper at AFCON a few months ago. We're going to stick by him.
Almost
It'll be
hockey
interesting to see what
vibes
they
where
do.
if you switch the goalie, you might get a momentum boost and some more belief
Exactly,
in the
yeah.
team.
I also, like we mentioned earlier, I don't really understand not starting Mahrez and Awar. I know beforehand, like during the game, that they did mention that, I mean, he's one of their best players. I still have hope in him. He
It's
they
like when I
mentioned
saw
before
him
the
Bolo
game.
today, I was like, he's still a wonder kid to me.
It's like 28.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. But I heard that they maybe started that lineup because it was more youthful and they felt like they could do better against the running of Argentina.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work. Like, besides a few chances in that first half, like the one offsides goal that they scored, they didn't really create anything moving forward. And you basically didn't have your 2 most creative guys, let alone the guy who got you the most goals in qualifying as your striker out there. So they were really missing 3 key attackers. So a little confused why they didn't start them. But yeah.
Good stuff there. Let's move over to Sousa's specialty. Portugal won. Dr. Congo won. I'm just going to pass this over to Sousa and let him give his monologue the way I gave mine.
I don't have a monologue for this. Like, this World Cup is purely reserved for the US and the US only. Like, I've been talking to a couple people at work about this because obviously my parents are from Portugal. So I remember growing up, I remember the 2014 World Cup vividly. Like, people ask me like, "Oh, if the US plays Portugal, like what would you do?" I'm like, the gag is like that's already happened. And I remember being younger, like being in a Portuguese household, like supporting Portugal for that game. But as I've gotten older and as I've just like connected with the US national team more than Portugal's, like if they were to face each other again in this World Cup, I'd be behind the US without a shadow of a doubt. That being said, like watching Portugal play against DR Congo was like, it's not anything new necessarily. It's just more disappointment in the fact that we can't figure it out offensively, and then looked shaky when Congo decided they wanted to play a little bit of offensive ball. So, I mean, we'll see in the next game if it's a bit of a wake-up call like the last World Cup was for putting Gonzalo Ramos as the starter ahead of Ronaldo in the round of 16 against Switzerland. I doubt it, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
The tough part is that you guys did get the early goal and the vibes are high, and then it kind of came crashing down. Tough for the Pedro Neto Ballon d'Or charge, but I'm obviously very curious to see what they end up doing with that striker position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to change. Roberto Martinez doesn't strike me as a manager who like
Yeah.
the
Balls.
Honest.
the balls, yeah, to do it. And coming into this World Cup, it very much seems like the narrative around Portugal's like, this is Ronnie's last chance. Like, let's get him his trophy, essentially. And unfortunately, that doesn't mean let's play well to get him the trophy. Like, let's get him this trophy, but also try and make him the star of this team, which at 41, like that's fine. But at this point, it's got to be, as a sub, or you have to understand your role as a player. You have to decide whether you're going to make the unselfish run or if you're going to, sacrifice your starting position for the guys.
Dude, what was with them not getting the ball to Bruno Fernandes? He was going all over the field looking for the ball, and he just couldn't get the ball. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I mean my thing is like him and Ronaldo tend to occupy similar spaces where it's like the forward
poacher spaces.
Yeah, like right up the middle of the field. So it's tough because when they play together, they're kind of running into each other. And then what I saw too is like Vitinha obviously plays between the two center backs. He progressed the ball forward with João Neves. Like there is like the weird empty space in the middle where it's like the team is almost in the shape of a circle rather than like there being diagonal options. So I think the midfield balance there is a little bit off, especially if you don't have somebody like Ramos or somebody like Felix who's going to drop in and want to pick up the ball in space, regardless of like what Felix's form has been at club level or what his career has been at club level. Like what he does offer as a player is something that was not present in this past game. So.
Well, also, I thought Leao was suspended, and then they brought him on, and I was like, whoa. This guy's available, and you're not playing Rafael Leao. I mean, I just feel like...
Leao is one of the most debatable players in world football. Some people think he is the second coming, and you have to play him, and then you have a lot of people say he's lazy, doesn't work off the ball.
Right.
So I've probably seen more discourse over Dembele or over Leao than any other player.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd necessarily be like my go-to either, because to your point, Ruby, like the work off the ball. If he's not working to get in behind a defense, like that's not going to help us against a DR Congo or like most teams that we're going to play against that are defending against us. Like I think the two things that were evidently missing were the one player being like breaking up that weird circle shape and being in the middle to kind of bring the ball forward, and also having a player who's going to push the defensive line back by making a run in behind. Because you had Ronaldo, who's kind of just stationary, waiting for the ball to get to him, or he's kind of, walking and waiting for that cut back into the box. You have Bruno, who's making the runs from deeper, but it's not like somebody in the front line who's like really pushing the defense backwards. And I mean, like, again, it's not like a glorious player, but a player like Gonzalo Guedes is going to make those runs in behind, like creating that space. So I think it goes to like the Thomas Tuchel and the Mauricio Pochettino of it all, where they're kind of like, we know you're upset about certain roster picks, but like we're building the most efficient team with the best players. And unfortunately, like,
it's not like you can have Leao and Ronaldo both not tracking back. Like somebody has to say, we just talked about how Argentina does that well to let Messi thrive. Everyone else works hard off the ball.
Exactly. Everybody's on the same page. It's like 10 guys, or I guess 9 guys are tracking back. Messi stays forward. Otherwise it's like, you get it's either you're sacrificing the workhorses and trying to just like let your stars be free, or you got to put some of them in and let your other stars know, like, unless you're outperforming this guy, like you're not getting on the field.
And folks, if you're listening to this on podcasts like I did for a long time, please go subscribe to our YouTube. For about 5 minutes of that segment, Pooch was dancing the entire time in the spirit of Dr. Congo. So
do 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 do. Oi, oi.
And for the record, I said doctor out of respect for Ethan. We're not all that thick here, so
right. Dr. Congo. Good stuff there. I'll throw the question back to you that you threw me earlier, Sousa. Are you anxious about how Portugal will look in the remaining group stage games?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't see, like, as opposed to Spain, like you have 2 genuine stars in Nico and Lamine to come onto the field and improve how you guys played. Like we don't have a Nico or Lamine that's going to come onto the field. Like our Nicos and Lamines like started this game essentially, and they're not on the bench waiting for an opportunity to break out. Like I don't even think
maybe Leao.
Like I just don't see it. Like I see like a player like Chico Conceição could be a player like Renato Sanchez.
He was good
in 2016, where it's like, this is a young guy who's just hungry and wants to prove himself. So he might just do anything to help the team. I wouldn't mind seeing more of him, but again, like I don't see him being a game breaker. I can see him being the workhorse that we might need, but like his game isn't running in behind in the same way that like we're missing. And I also I don't think he's as good as Felix when it comes to dropping into midfield and kind of being the false 9 sort of player where you just need to play off the striker.
You did say the center backs were different than you expected. Is that more of like, again, a rotation, rest them for upcoming games? Or do you think Roberto Martinez prefers the center backs he played in this match?
No, I didn't. I haven't looked into any
Was it Araujo and
Vega?
Vega started,
I
former
haven't.
Clear Lake.
Yeah, I haven't looked into any like post game comments from Martinez if he spoke about that. But I honestly think this was smart in that he knew Congo were going to be playing on the counter, and so I think he went for two athletic center backs to be able to keep pace with them. Which I was understanding that. Like I
and
get
ball
it.
playing center backs, they're comfortable passing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think all four of the center backs that we've brought in, like Anasia's probably the weakest of the four, but like I think he's still.
Did Antonio Silva make the squad?
No,
he didn't.
Interesting.
He just had a weird couple of years with Benfica where he's like,
yeah, it's been here and there. And again, Thomas Araujo did make it, and they're sort of partnered or sometimes even with Otamendi.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the center back choice, I didn't mind.
For Benfica.
Yeah. And again, to your point, like I think you look at this and like, I think Uzbekistan is probably the weakest game of this group stage. So if I were to have expected this partnership, it would have been for that game. But given, I mean, and look, like Congo proved that we needed two athletic center backs to be playing because they just kept coming at us on the counterattack. So
understandable. Well, we will see. Who is your next group stage game? Is it Colombia?
No, it's Uzbekistan. Colombia's our last one. So yeah, I'm nervous for the Uzbekistan game because if they just play the DR Congo blueprint, like then we're looking at another 1-1 or 0-0. And then Colombia, I mean, they looked great against Uzbekistan. I know the opponent isn't phenomenal, but like that is like Luis Diaz showed like this is his team.
Yeah, 100%. They played really well.
The boys in blue showed up. I love it. They were my dark horse this tournament. I think I have them in the round of 16. A lot of people had them getting groups, finishing third, not being one of the 8 teams. I've been on their bandwagon since AFCON saying that this team is something special. I think they're going to make a run. I think what Sousa said, where the counterattack, I think they're so solid defensively. This group has been together for a while. Johan Wissa, dog. Noah Siddiqui, dog. They have a few dogs on that team, and I really enjoy watching them play. Yeah, I think they could do something special against Colombia. Another draw / it like the Portugal game feels like a win, even though it's a draw, like one of those. I could see them doing the same thing against Colombia and then getting a win against Uzbekistan and finishing with 5 points in this group. I really trust them to finish second after that performance.
That's high praise for Dr. Congo. No, they looked good, and they played that game perfectly in the sense of strong defensively, but they have the runners to counter.
And they had
strength
chances
to survive after conceding early.
100%.
Yeah, and they had their chances too, even in that second half on the counter. I don't know. I think they could go far.
All right, fair enough. Am I good to move on now? Good. England 4, Croatia 2, Harry Kane masterclass. Really good game all around. I'm going to be honest, I probably underestimated. I would probably say if we're just talking pure game, probably the best. Probably underestimated Croatia a bit coming into this tournament, but I forgot that they did have some young players, right? I obviously knew Vuskovic. I knew Baturina from Como. Modric,
football manager guy.
Modric probably looks a little past it. But the rest of them, I mean, Arvin Perisic is still doing it. But Harry Kane in this, he's
still running.
I know. He tore his ACL at Spurs.
Using your technical ability. It's different when you're older and you're relying on the skill you have. That dude's still just like bombing up and down.
100%. But yeah, I mean, Harry Kane was immense. 2 goals, obviously saved potentially a goal at the end of the game, throwing his balls on the line for it. For me, Harry Kane at this point has proven to me that he's the best striker of our generation. I don't know how you can look at another player. I know Pooch is going to argue that. That's okay.
Are you counting Erling Haaland in our generation or no?
Yes.
I mean, if you're talking about like soccer player, like yeah, he's much better than Erling. Like Erling Haaland is a goal scorer. It's kind of
right.
like
Messi, Ronaldo,
like old Ronaldo and
Luis Suarez.
They're like goal scorers. Again, better overall soccer player. Luis Suarez isn't dropping into midfield and hitting pings like across the field for his teammates.
I agree with all of that. I just wanted to make sure, like, just generation wise, because I always picture Harry Kane in like this weird middle ground comes after Messi and Ronaldo and before an Mbappe Haaland, where
Yeah.
it just feels like that whole generation, so to speak, kind of lost stars where like you have like the Dele Allis, the Wilsheres, like these like really like I'm talking when they were like teenagers, like when we were teenagers, where it's like, oh, they're next up, like and none of them really panned out. And you still have Harry Kane there. So like he's like in this like little lost generation of superstars, and that's how I view him. So I was just
I
seeing what
just
your thoughts
think
were on
if
it.
like just watching the guy play pretty much now since 2014, 15, like first off, he came on as just an insane goal scorer. But like Sosa said, like what he's done now, like dropping in and being able to just like command games, and then he's also
He
defending.
has no weaknesses. No weaknesses.
He's defending, and you know, he's not the most athletically gifted, right? This isn't a guy with like insane pace, or he's not insanely strong. Just
a
like
baller.
Just a baller, man.
I mean, I think his athleticism is kind of underrated. Like, I agree. I don't think he's
not like Henry or Mbappe rapid, but he has a striker's body, which helps. So you can get up for headers. It's not like he's
for sure
Olivier Giroud slow.
I'd agree with that, but just watch.
Is real quick last comparison. Is Harry Kane just Wayne Rooney, not on the beers and a stable home life?
Wow. That might be it, honestly.
Right? Like
that might be it.
I feel like that's a decent comparison.
That's a really good comparison.
It's like, what if Wayne Rooney wasn't on the beers?
And wasn't going around shagging grannies?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a really good comparison, right? Like what probably every English person wanted Rooney's career to be, like proper leader and like kind of stand-up role model, right? Like type of guys like never had a scandal, just the biggest scandal was leaving Spurs, breaking my heart. But
and Rooney's career was good, but obviously if Harry tops it with the World Cup, then yeah.
I mean, for me, he's got to be the front runner this year for Ballon d'Or. I know it ends up going to who, like if France win, it has to go to.
I mean, I agree.
Did Jude win that starting spot for you over Morgan Rogers, or you still have a question mark there?
I think he did. And the only reason I think he did is I think Rogers is great off the bench because he just has like athleticism. Where that's like a super sub in the 75th, 80th minute where you're winning a game and you're like, all right, I just need someone to just bring a little bit of like pressing, a little bit of just, again, right, like strong player, just throw him on. And it probably takes a little bit off of Harry Kane too. But I think like a Jude and Harry Kane combo is exactly what Dele Alli and Harry Kane were supposed to be. Where you have this second striker making the runs off and Harry's just providing him, right? Like, then, of course, like Marcus Rashford, right? Like scoring at the end.
And it works well to have Elliott and Declan behind that. You know, I think maybe they weren't 100% on it this game, like at times. But if you have Declan at full force, Elliott at full force, Jude at full force, we could put that up against that midfield Portugal we were talking about.
You can put up against almost any midfield in the world.
Midfield, of course.
I think Jude gets knocked because he is not a proper 10 in the way like Bruno Fernandes is, right? So I think he gets knocked on that, where even myself, I call him like, he's kind of like a
more
false
like
9.
A shadow striker than a classic 10.
Exactly. So I think that's where people are like, oh no, the midfield because he won't drop in and defend. But I think if Jude, instead of taking the route he went at Real Madrid and started playing as more of an 8, I think it would probably be a different conversation.
Yeah, I kind of like that Dele Alli comparison. Like when Dele Alli broke through, everybody loved his goals. It wasn't necessarily like they thought he was the next Mesut Ozil. Right. And kind of Jude Bellingham is similar, where when he's stealing headlines, typically he had a big goal in a big moment.
Yep, and that's exactly what Jude did here, right? A really clinical finish. I'll give him his credit where it's due. I mean, I still think he's shit, but I'll give him his credit where it's due. But overall, England really impressed me. I think everyone had questions about the lineup, the player choice, what were they going to look like, and
I love Tuchel's halftime speech. He said, like, listen, we got 2 more games. If you guys lose, I'm not going to be mad at you, but if we lose, we have to play our way. Go out there and be progressive. Don't pass the ball backwards or sideways. And I think it's exactly what that team needed to hear, where there's been a lot of pressure on England over the years. And for him to just be like, go and play our game. Don't worry about the result. They went out and showed that fire. Again, I'm a huge Tuchel believer, and he even won off the field, clearing out. Now they're going to remove the cameramans around the coaches during the anthems.
It is funny, too, because that is so Postecoglou to say. That is like the prime Postecoglou. I thought you were going to say that was actually an Ange Postecoglou comment, but Yeah, I think of all the teams, especially the powerhouses we've seen, I think France looked good, but I think England impressed me the most. And maybe that's up for debate, but...
Now, we were going to talk about that actually later in the pod. I saw the who impressed you the most.
I didn't see that.
I was going to say, like, a lot of these teams, like Germany, didn't really play a strong team. Some of these other teams kind of half-hearted in their performance. At a true, like, who impressed me with their performance against a strong opponent, for me, it was kind of England, and I'll even toss in USA, just in terms of whose performance impressed me.
After our first time, we were not able to go Siete 0, and now we are giving it a second go. Are we ready, lads?
Let's do it.
Vamos.
Let's see. Let's see how we do here. Alrighty.
As a quick recap for our fans, we did make it to the final and lost. So we were close.
We were close, but we were not.
But now we recruited Justin Sousa.
Yes.
Our local expert.
Yes, tactics expert. Let's jump in. We're going to go balanced. We're going to go 4-3-3, classic mode. Let's do it. First team, England, 1954.
Let me see. Oh, no, hold on. Go down.
We have right, and then we have Matthews Finney.
Was crazy good. Matthews was crazy good.
Matthews.
Finney.
Matthews is going in at right wing, 92 overall. All right, good pull there. Brazil, 1998. Oh.
Roberto
R9?
Carlos.
Ronaldo. R9. Or
can I say Roberto Carlos? I don't know
Yes.
how many better left backs we're going to get.
I was going to agree with that.
Or Cafu.
I would go Roberto Carlos just because he's an 89 over the Cafu.
I'm a big
80s.
R9 guy, but last time we got some of those picks wrong, just going for the higher rated players, so I'll succumb to the crowd.
We will do Roberto Carlos here at left back, 89 overall. Alrighty, good start so far. Croatia 2018, which means you know who we got in the midfield. Big Luka Modric, 95 overall. I think that's
You
a
passed
perfect.
You have to.
Put him
He's
in.
not even 50 here.
Alrighty. Yugoslavia, 1958. So they have a good goalie,
Berra.
a 90 goalie. Beria.
Probably our best bet.
Let's give it a quick scroll. Boskov, right mid center, mid 86. Zebic, 85 DM. Never heard of him. I think we just go with Berra here in goal and be happy with this one.
Yeah,
For those
quality that year.
For those that missed the first episode, we don't do rerolls. So we're going with exactly what we get. Holland, 2010. So this is a pretty good poll again. We're doing well, guys. Wesley Schneider.
Wesley.
Yeah.
Schneider.
Robin.
Yeah. Robin. I think we go Schneider at the 10. That would be safe to me.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Good. This team is looking tasty. Ghana, 2014.
Yes.
We can't get
Michael
Asamoah.
Essien.
Michael Essien, 82. Oh,
Kevin
Prince.
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 We would have to play
84.
him at striker, though, so.
No, we can move Modric to the DM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do we go Essien at the DM? Does this game actually take
Do we
proper
have
squad building?
Asamoah Jean?
What does the
Samoa
right,
is an 85. We can't get him.
I was just saying, what do the right backs look like? Because do we just like bite the bullet and take a shitty right back for the sake of potentially getting better players?
That's not a bad shout. 76 overall. I think maybe we stick with a little higher rated until maybe a little later on. I just want to see.
Michael Essien is speaking to me, but I understand if we want to go Asamoah.
I
We
grew
could
up
play-
absolutely in love with the Bison, Michael Essien. I wish he was a little higher rated here, but
I can now
one of
take
my all-time
Asamoah
favorites.
at 85 if I move Modric to the 6.
Could we play him at left wing, or you're saying you want to play him at
I'd
center
play him
mid?
at center mid and just have a center mid of Schneider, Modric, and Asamoah. But I'm good with also putting Essien at the 6 and Modric at the 8.
Guess in terms of how the game works, probably I guess the higher rated player makes more sense.
So you pick.
I was going to say Boateng. I've never seen Asamoah play in center midfield. I always grew up with him playing left wing for you.
Okay, with Prince Boateng. I heard him on some podcasts recently. Maybe he'll come on our pod.
Yeah, so we'll put him at center mid here.
Friend of the pod, Boateng.
Scotland, 1982.
No, Scotland,
No party. There is two solid center backs here. Hansen and Miller, 82 and 80 rated respectively. McGrain, 79 rated right back.
Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah,
Oh, you gotta
striker.
go Kenny.
I think that's for itself.
Yeah, striker, 90 rated. This team is looking good, guys. Mexico, 1978, and this might be where we've hit a wall. Scrolling through. Hugo Sanchez in 82, but he's blocked because we took Kenny Dalglish. I think this is where maybe we go. Oh, the right backs are so bad.
Is there any chance Dalglish could play on the wing? I don't think
Nah,
so.
he's just striker.
No. Is there a right back available?
The right backs available are 70 and 68 rated. The
Is
center back,
right
Vasquez here is a 76 rated center back. So I don't know if that's worth it. And maybe go one shit center back, one solid center back.
Probably our
It
best
might
bet.
be. Yeah, I'd rather go the 76 center.
All right, we'll put him in. So Vasquez, 76 rated, is there at left center back. Holland, 1974. We have an 81 rated right back, or Kroll, who's an 85 rated center back. Scrolling through. Han, who I don't know where he would play.
Probably
Neskins was a
center back.
91. Ressenbrink could play left wing at
Cruyff,
87.
Cruyff
At left wing.
Cruyff, it's game.
All
What a
right.
front three.
Johan Cruyff.
Italy,
Here we
1978.
go.
Could be
Can
good.
we Sciarra?
Chiara,
Yeah. Is that how you say
bring
that?
him home.
Former
I don't know.
legend.
He will play at center back for us. How do you say it? Sciarra? I said Sciarra.
That's probably right.
Skiraya.
Skidea. All right.
You
Well,
gotta
he
do the hand thing though.
he balances out the other center back. All right. We have a 79 right back here. It's our final position.
Poland
86 right back.
1978.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
So we got
works
Zmuda,
out
Poland,
perfect.
1978 right back, 86
Is
rated.
that a number 9 center back, right back? That's kind of
Yep.
electric.
Yeah.
And I will say, let's say we picked an attacking style because our attack is so high. I do think it would benefit us more than where we have a lower rated defense. But I think for now, we could continue to go balance, but just something to keep in mind.
Yep. So we have a 92 attack, 87 defense, and 89 total team rating. What are our predictions? I
Final.
think we have to
I
win the
think we
cup.
win it.
We have
I
to win
think
the
we
cup.
win it. Yeah.
Win the cup. Let's go
I think
Siete
this is the
Azura.
one.
All right.
Here we go.
Japan.
Japan 02.
0-2. Oh my God. 5-0. 5-0. Paraguay 2010.
Johan Cruyff taking
3-0.
Oh
home.
my God.
España 2002.
Kevin Prince
Beat him
Boateng
2-0.
can finally beat his brother with this team.
Portugal 2022. We're up 2-0. Yes, we get the job done in the round of 16. Soviet
Please,
Union
please. I need this
1916.
one.
Slavia Ukraina.
Oh no, 98 France.
Heroislava.
Fuck. We lose to 98 France in the semifinals. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Just to put in perspective, we had 5 wins. We went 5-1. 15 goals for, 3 against. The 3 conceded, 2 against France in 98, 1 against the Soviet Union in the 1966 Soviet Union. All right. Let's give it another go. Oh, I didn't mean to replay this.
That French
No, don't even show
1998
me.
team.
Don't even show me what this could have been. Or is it just replaying it?
It's just replaying. I
Okay. I thought it was like a try again type of thing.
No, that would have been awesome.
No, it wouldn't have. Because then it would have shown that we won it.
I cannot believe we didn't win that one.
See, the thing is, in 98, they rigged it so that Brazil and France could play each other in the final. I don't think
Wait.
that helped us here.
Ethan, scroll up really quick.
Oh, my bad. I clicked too quickly. What'd you want to say?
No, it's okay. We could change the setting from ultra so it's not super, super fast to like the lesser one so we can at least see it scroll a bit.
Okay.
So we're not like, it's not on top of us.
Okay.
Essentially.
All right, we are going for round 2 here. Let's just recap. We did well there. Do we like the 4-3-3?
I think we stick with it. Yeah.
Stick with it. Do we want to change
We're
our
getting
style?
close.
Do we want to change our style from defensive, balanced, or attacking?
I almost feel like we've struggled to get defenders sometimes. I'd be willing to try attacking one time. We do seem to hold out for the best attackers.
Let's do that. So we'll go attacking and let's give it a go. First team, Argentina 1962. This might be a good option. Marzloni, left back, 85 rated. You always want to get those high rated fullbacks. Oh, we lost the DM option by going attacking, by the way. It just turns into another center
Also,
mid.
is Sousa there or is he frozen?
No, he's there.
Okay. I think actually all you guys are frozen on my end, but
Not
hopefully
good.
the viewers are all good.
I think we'll be all good here. Marzloni, 85 rated left back. Let's
Yeah.
get him in. Nice and easy. Alrighty, let's see what we get next. Paraguay 2010.
Oh,
Marzolini.
no.
This is a bad one.
It
I
was
don't
Santa
think-
Cruz.
I don't think we go with a low rated striker, honestly. I think this
No,
maybe.
Santa Cruz could play left wing in this case. What were you saying?
But we
Sosa?
went for an attacking style. I do think maybe we need to hold out for the best possible attackers.
Yeah, the goalie's 80 rated. I'd say we just take the goal.
Goalie is 80
Okay.
rated. Do we just take Villar? Call it a day?
Yeah.
Okay. Switzerland 2006. This is brutal. There's a 79 rated center back. Right mid, left mid, 80
Ukraine
rated
beat this
Bernetta.
team in the 2006 World Cup. Shout out Ukraine.
Shout out Ukraine. 84 rated striker Frey. It's either him for me or this 80 rated left mid, right mid.
Can he play right back?
I have no idea.
Click on it, see if he can.
He could play
No.
attacking midfielder.
Nah, I don't think so.
So you're the guest. You tell me.
Try fullback.
I would just take the center back, the 79 center back.
All right.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
Sendros. I like that. So we're taking
like that.
Sendros, 79 rated center back. Germany, 1986.
Right.
Let's see what we
This
get
is
here.
gonna have some
that's
good
why we
ones.
hold out.
Right back, 86 rated right here.
Nah, I think they have.
What years are
Matthias
Jerd?
Lothar,
Lothar.
Lothar Mattes, 89 is going to probably be the
And
pick.
Volair is also
Volair,
really good.
Rumenej, 88 rated. I think we go Mattes. I like the idea of getting the center mid in. We'll put him as a little bit deeper. No problem. So Lothar Mattes is in the team, 89 rated. Argentina, 2018. You know where we're
Messi.
scrolling.
Where is he?
Leo Messi.
Muchacho.
Messi. We're putting him at right wing, but he can also play the 10 or striker.
Nice.
All right. This team's coming along. Brazil, 1966.
You know who they have, right?
I think this is Pele.
Scroll down.
Wow. Might have
93
been a
rated
good time
Pele.
to go from. Is a good time to go attacking. We just put the two goats together.
Yep. Pele at the striker, Messi on right wing. United States, 1994.
Yes,
Where's
where is he?
Lawless?
Put in Lawless.
He was-
Put in
No,
Lawless.
that
No,
doesn't-
Put in
no.
Lawless. Put in Lawless.
Tab Ramos,
No.
80 rated. Yeah, this team is pretty bad.
We got to put in Lawless.
We
Putting
don't have-
Lawless on this team is like putting Lawless together with Henri and Zlatan in the booth.
Wow.
All I hear is
Almost
Sousa
is
just
right
going,
there for the getting.
Let's get Tab Ramos to put him
no,
at the 10.
boo.
I'm not taking him. Holland, 1978. You know where we're going. Oh,
Nah, I don't think
there
he's
is no
there.
Johan Cruyff. There is
Nah, 'cause I
Ressenbrink,
think
88.
This might have been the World Cup where he missed because his home got broken into.
Let's go Kroll here, 87 rated center back.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Help
Yeah.
shore up the back line. And you know what?
That's
Can we switch
actually a
these
good
two?
pick.
Yeah.
I just switched Kroll
Good
and
call
Sendros.
there. Good call. there, Abe.
Left-footed. All right. Czechoslovakia, 1954. And this is grim.
Dog water.
All 75s. Do we just find a right back? No,
Yeah.
74 rated right back.
Just grab him.
All right.
I'd
Roll
rather
them.
keep the left wing and
Yeah.
center mid option.
Yeah. All right. So we just have center mid and left wing. Argentina 2026. Julian Alvarez, 90 rated left wing, or Enzo Fernandez, 87 rated center mid.
Rodrigo.
You're going. Oh, Rodrigo de Paul.
You might have to go with
Or
Enzo, the
McAllister's actually
double
88
world
rated.
champ.
Nope.
Ooh.
Not going Enzo.
Or Julian Alvarez
Yeah.
off the left.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rubes. Overruled.
Yeah, that's a good pick. No, that's a good pick.
Yugoslavia, 1962. 86 rated center mid. Pooch, can you say that for me?
Suck my sack. Suckerlack.
Right.
Fair.
Right.
We're going to go with Rubes. Can you maybe try that?
Sekularic.
All right. Sekularic. Let's give a quick
or maybe
overview
it
of the
is
team one more time.
Sekularic.
We are an 85 rated, 89 attack, 82 defense. Valara net, 80 rated. Safranek, 74 rated right back. Sendros, 79 rated center back. Kroll, 87 rated left center back. Marzolini, 85 rated left back. Lothar Mattes, 89. Suck my sack, Sekraladic, 86. Tab Ramos, 80. Messi, 94. Pele, 93. And Julian Alvarez, 90. Let's get into this.
This was the right time to go for attack, but not our highest
Yeah.
rated team.
Yeah, Ethan. Click Ultra. Yeah, normal.
Yep. Egypt, we beat them 4-0, 2018 Egypt.
Sekularic.
Sekraladic gets himself a goal, suck his sack.
Lothar Matthäus in the middle, too, is a perfect guy to have.
Yep.
It's click. Okay. there it
Automatic.
goes.
Costa
Maybe
Rica,
there-
2022.
That's
Oh,
tricky.
we're drawn 0-0 up until the 35th. Uh-oh. Oh, my
Messi
God.
wins both
How do we
times.
not score on Costa Rica 20? Okay,
Okay.
1-0.
Lothar.
2-0.
Lothar.
He's
3-0.
him.
4-0. All right.
Pele.
4-0. There we go.
Two back-to-back
Sweden,
4-0s.
94. We take a while to score here, man.
Yeah, I'm not a
First
big
half,
fan
no
of
goal
that.
against Sweden, 94. Oh, my God.
no.
They're up 3-0 on us.
No.
That was
Two-
in-
Remontada, 2-3. Oh, we're out. And we are out.
No, it's the
Wait,
group.
no,
it's the
no.
group.
Oh, it was just the group. It was just the group. My bad. Ghana,
Ghana
2014.
2014. Tab.
How's our front three struggling?
Yeah, if anything. 1-0 on Ghana, 2-0 on Ghana.
It's Julian Alvarez. It's that meme of the three-headed dragon.
Yeah.
2-0 Ghana 2014. Soviet Union 1962. Oh, they're up 1-0.
No.
Remontada.
Come on, Messi.
Messi. Messi.
Messi.
Hey, Tacolani! Messi 2-1! 3-1, vamos! We are into the set. Brazil 94.
Oh, no.
Brazil 94.
Semifinals.
This is scary.
1-0 Ronaldo, R9.
We're gonna get dog walked by this team, unfortunately.
Come on,
Oh, no.
Messi.
See.
Messi.
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 2-2.
Messi.
We're in a shootout. Messi missed.
Oh my
Romario. Pele.
No,
Bebeto.
PKs.
Alvarez. Dunga. Matis. We need a miss.
We just need a miss. We need a miss.
Oh.
Oh my God, our class's permanent podcast listeners are ripping Messi.
Oh my gosh. We have to do one more. We have to do one more.
Uno más. Uno más.
Una más. Una más.
That was prime Messi versus Chile penalty kick shootout.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe he missed. 4-3-3. Do we want to go attacking or
Ethan
balance?
told him.
I think,
Maybe back to balanced.
yeah. All I
Uh,
know is I could see Ethan on that sideline saying, don't miss. Don't miss.
Don't
You're
miss."
taking the first one.
Uruguay 1974. We have Mark Mazur. I don't know how this guy's name is Uruguayan. Mazurchowicz, 88 rated.
I could give a couple of reasons why.
I think we go with the goalkeeper here, 88
Yeah.
rated.
Yeah.
Good way. Good. Italy 1950.
Bad
80
Italy team.
Parola, center back
Parola.
86. I think it'll be Parola.
What about the fullbacks?
This is probably because half their
No,
country
yeah, go
left.
Parola.
Yeah, you're right.
He wore number 0.
That's crazy.
Croatia 98. This could be an 83 rated left
Well,
back.
Modric.
Jardim.
Modric.
Is that Stefan Bilic, the manager?
I'll tell you, but that's definitely
Yeah.
Igor Tudor right next
Yeah.
to him. But we have two. We have an 86 rated midfielder
Boban.
here, Boban.
Bill
Or we have
Baggins.
Prosnecki, 85 rated. I think we could just go. Oh, or Suked, 90. I kind of want to go with.
Sukad.
Okay, fine. We'll go Suked. Sorry.
Oh, I won't say what I was going to say. Never mind.
Portugal, 1960. Is this Eusebio?
No. Yeah.
Yes. Right wing Eusebio, 95.
Wow.
Get him in.
The Black
Oh,
Panther.
Morocco, 22. Hakimi, 88.
Hakimi, it's got to be
It's got to be Hakimi, yeah.
It's got to be Hakimi.
All right, we'll take Hakimi, I guess.
I could go get my Morocco kit.
Paraguay, 1986. This is where it goes to shit.
Why
Why
do
do we always get Paraguay?
Romero, 82 rated center mid.
Christian?
They did have an 84 rated striker, but oh wait, no, we can take him if we wanted. Cabanas,
Yeah.
or we go
Yeah.
with one of the midfielders.
I think go Romero at
Romero.
midfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we still attacking or are we
Balance.
We're
No,
balanced.
balance.
England, 62.
We also don't have any mids. So I think
Sir
that's a
Bobby
good
Moore,
pick.
84 rated. Bobby Charlton, 89. We have to take it for Endrick, right?
Yeah.
Sir
we-
Bobby.
That's what we did last time. It worked.
Yeah. Sir Bobby.
Enrique.
Oh, Argentina, 1990. Where is he?
Where is he? Yes.
Maradona, 92
Maradona.
rated.
Muchachos.
Chos. Switzerland, 1950. There's an 83 rated left back. Can I open up?
No.
No, I can't. There's an 84 rated center mid, but we can't open up a
I
spot.
think we go
unfortunately.
the left back.
There is an 84 DM,
off
but
the
I agree.
rip.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
go with the
DM
left back here.
center back, but yeah, it's a good left back pick. Nielsen.
Nilsson. All right. Uruguay,
Another number
1954. 82 rated center back Santa Maria. Oh, Varela, 85 defensive midfielder. Oh, there was a good player here. Schifiano, 91 rated attacking mid.
Are you able to move anyone to the cam like Maradona?
No, unfortunately, I will probably keep Maradona left wing, though. Yeah,
Well, you'd probably have to drop.
they can't move anyone, unfortunately. Romero doesn't
Yeah.
drop to the DM.
That's fine. It's not a bad pick.
So we'll take Varela here at DM.
Yeah.
And then we just have our left center back spot left. 1958,
Oh,
Bellini, I think, is going to be our best option.
Oh, we could have
Hey,
had Gardine.
They have a good left back. We can move Nilsson to center back.
Yes, and they do. They have
Oh.
Nilton Santos, Sosa ball
Sosa.
knowledge.
Sosa
Sosa
ball knowledge.
Tactical masterclass. He inverted into a Potch pentagon. Hit the half
So-
channels.
This team is very highly rated. 88 rated, 90 attack, 86 defense. And just to rip through it one more time, our goalkeeper's 88 rated. Hakimi's 88. Parola at center back is 86. Nielsen at center back is at 83. Nilton Santos, 89 left back. Varela, 85 DM. Romero, 82 center mid. Sir Bobby Charlton, 89 attacking midfielder. And then this front line is sick. Eusebio off the right wing, 95. Suka, 90 striker. And then Maradona off the left, 92. What are our predictions? Do we do it here?
No duds. No, like, below 80s, which is sick.
What do we think here? 7-0.
Win.
Win the finals.
We go 7-0, and the series ends tonight.
First group stage match is against Japan, 2002. Oh, Varela and Romero scored 2-0. Let's see if we finish the job strong.
Unsung heroes.
I have noticed the midfielders score a lot in this. 2-0, job done. Ivory Coast, 2014, 1-0. Eusebio, thank you for getting on the score sheet. Seba.
Benfica savior.
2-0 Hakimi. Finish the job.
Morocco.
3-0 Sir Bobby for Endrick.
Endrick is cheering in heaven at that one.
Romania, 1990. We go up 1-0. Oh, 1-1.
Casablanca.
3-1.
Shout out
Maradona.
Diego.
4-1 Nilton.
Diego.
5-1.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Jeez.
All right.
Left back.
Uruguay, 1950.
Masterclass by Sousa.
1-0. 2-0. In the round of 16, we were up on Uruguay in 1950. 2-0.
Still cruising.
Romero and Eusebio, the goal scorers. I think Romero
Uruguay's
scored
in the mud.
2 goals.
Uruguay's in the mud. No.
Job done.
Nice.
Quarters. Argentina, 1966.
Maradona's going up against himself.
1-0. Hakimi on the score sheet early. 2-0. Sukid, 45th.
Give
Finish
me
the
Diego.
job. 3-0 Diego against his team.
Diego.
4-0.
Oh,
6-0. 6-0.
This is the
Yugoslavia,
team.
1954.
It's our year.
Can we finish the job?
Semifinals.
We got to incentivize Maradona, and I know one way how.
It's 0-0. Oh, no. 1-0.
Oh, no.
2-0.
No.
Remontada, please.
Diego.
3-0.
Diego.
Oh.
My gosh. I don't know how that's possible. 18 goals for, 4 against, only 5 wins as we lose in the semis to 1954 Yugoslavia.
I'm going to have nightmares about 1954 Yugoslavia tonight.
Yeah, I cannot.
Mexico just scored.
And as we're watching, Mexico has just scored. But that was us doing 7-0. Fun game.
Go.
I was just about to mute you. Perfect. Thank you, Rubes. And now let's move into our group stage round 1 review. We're going to be doing some superlatives here. So just going to do a quick intro. Alrighty, the group stage round 1 has concluded, and we have some superlatives, some takes here to give out. Let's get into it. First things first, boys. Best performance by team. For me, it's got to be England 4-2 over Croatia. I think they looked phenomenal. I was very impressed. And for a team that came in with so many doubts and so much noise around their squad selection, they got the job done. And at points, maybe a little shaky, but really did look relatively comfortable throughout.
I would say because it was a tricky game, too, the way they responded and showed different factors they have in their team, different people who could step up. I like the England pick, and I'll do an honorable shout out to USA just with how blown away I was with that performance.
Good stuff. What do you think here, Pooch?
I'm between 2 thoughts because I do think Germany winning 7-1 should get a shout out because it scored 7 goals, but it also came against Curaçao. I think what I'm going to have to do is actually give it to New Zealand.
Ooh.
I think
Okay.
New Zealand did perform really well. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. They're not a team where they probably should have been in the game. A lot of people wrote them off as the lowest team in that group. And the fact that they went out, scored 2 goals, and kept it a game against Iran, which is a much better team than they are, I think they had a good performance for this first round.
Fair enough. So what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the homer pick with the U.S. of all the host nations. That was the most dominant and assertive opening game between the 3 of them. So definitely there. I have to shout out Argentina. Like, I just walked all over Algeria, just like Messi kind of just pulled that whole game. in the most positive way. Like, that is not slander at all. It's just, I mean, that's just what happened. And then I think Colombia played really well against Uzbekistan too. I think that's a team worth shouting out. Yeah, and I think like their stars stepped up. We talked about players who just level up when it comes to playing for the national team. James is another one. Like, I don't think it was his best performance for them, but like when he puts on the yellow jersey, he's a different player altogether.
Yes,
And
sir.
since
Maybe
some
the Columbus
people
Crew
were
should have signed him at
lower,
Minnesota.
some people were lower
Based
on
on
Argentina.
some of the performance, obviously
I
Spain
think
struggled, Portugal struggled.
especially since people were starting to doubt Argentina, I think they kind of came in and reminded everyone who the World Cup champs are.
Yeah.
100%. Definitely a dominant performance to open it up. And like you said, a team that even myself, I doubted a bit and said maybe they have an earlier exit than expected. Maybe that's not true. Moving on. Any changes to tournament favorites here? So Spain struggled, Portugal struggled. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, obviously
I had
England
France. I will stick with France.
Okay. Sousa, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the typical favorites. So if you're thinking about like Argentina, Spain, England, I don't think any of their France, none of their stocks went down. I guess like Portugal had the hype around them. Like, I think their stock probably went down. US stock probably went up. I don't think they're a favorite to win the tournament, but like, I mean, people are excited enough by the results to even just be like facetiously saying like, we're going to take it home. So yeah, I think for the most part, the favorites stayed the same. Portugal probably went down if you consider them a favorite.
What do you think, Pooch? Anything changed for you?
I think, yeah, once again, like, not personally, because I don't think Brazil will be going too far in the tournament. Like, I think they'll still win a couple knockout games. But I think the overall sentiment from a lot of American fans is like Brazil has to be good because it's Brazil.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just think that sentiment, like after that Morocco game, the way that they played, their kind of defensive structure and all of that, they just didn't look cohesive enough against a team that, if you're in the quarterfinals, that's the level that you're going to be playing. So my stock went down on them.
Okay,
And
fair enough. I agree with that.
Some people said, you know, you have those random Americans that be like, Brazil has to be good. A lot of Brazilian fans, including myself, came in worried, and this only solidified those worries further.
Was it more of a Brazil worries, or was it more of a Morocco kind of lived up to the hype and maybe they are as strong as, you know, a semifinal performance in the last World Cup? Obviously, the performance they put in AFCON.
I think like having been at the game, like Morocco outplayed Brazil in the first half, and then Morocco realized all they needed was a draw to win this group. They just said we're cool with the 1-1 essentially. Like they'd rather have just preserved the draw than risk losing.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on. We talked about tournament favorites. What about any new dark horses of the tournament? For me, not necessarily any new dark horses, but some teams that maybe will go further. Ivory Coast really impressed me. Yandi Omande, like, yeah, it looked incredible in that game. Another team, and we talked about it, right? Like the U.S. I think the U.S. can go very deep as long as this team continues performing. Dark horse to win the tournament, maybe not. But like, if you told me this team maybe finds a way in a semifinal, you know what I mean? Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility where maybe before the tournament, I was like, there's no chance. Quarterfinals is the ceiling. I don't know. Any other dark horses for you guys?
I like Norway a lot. I know they played Iraq, which is a powerhouse, but I still think they looked, I still think they asserted themselves in a game that they should have one-handedly, and they did.
Yeah.
Holland's introduction to the World Cup, and he impressed on it. So as long as he's firing, like, they're going to go far with him. I think Australia is going to do well. I think they shocked a lot of people by beating Turkey, who are the perennial dark horses of every tournament they play in. But, you know, I think like Australia's got that dog in them, and they've got players on the counter who are going to make you pay. We've got a category coming up that I'll shout a guy out in there later on. But yeah, I think between Australia and Norway, those guys impressed me. And I think Japan's like resolve to not lose to the Netherlands, go down twice, and then still tie the game, find ways to get that point. You know, they are consistently a good team. I feel like this is a tournament where they will make a decent run.
For sure. Ruby, what about you? Any dark horses?
It's hard to say if Morocco can even be considered a dark horse anymore because their stature has risen so much. But again, I think they almost solidified the praise that they were receiving beforehand, so I could see them making that run again. But I do really like Sousa shouting out Japan. I was very impressed in the different types of ways they played in that game to be able to pull a result out of that. They're a very ambitious country on that they said like they want to win the World Cup by, I don't know, 2058 or something. And the manager came in and said like, why not this year? I like the vibes in that camp. So those are kind of two that did impress me.
Pooch, anything for you there?
Yeah, I mean, my heart is telling me to say Dr. Congo, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say Sweden. And I know
Okay.
once again, it's kind of
Great
the same
shout.
vibe. Yeah, it's the same vibe as Germany, where it's like they played a Tunisia team where the head coach gets fired the next morning because he just picked a weird squad and basically didn't use the players that he had. But at the same point, Sweden looked very, very good for a team where there's a lot of questions coming around them. Like they don't win a single qualification game. You have two really good strikers. How are you gonna play both of them? Is one gonna be on the bench? And they somehow Graham Potter has this team firing on all cylinders since he's took over. So I could see them making a bit of a
He
run
had the
once again.
cowboy hat on.
I know. Once again, I don't see them like winning it, but like I don't think I had them like advancing past the round of 32 or the round of 16. I could see them making a cheeky quarterfinal run where they're like popping up in the quarterfinals and you're like, why are they here? Like, so yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And let's go around real quick. Who has been everybody's favorite player so far this tournament? Any names have popped out to anybody?
Elijah Just.
Yeah, I know you love Elijah Just. I think for me, there's a couple of names. I mean, I mentioned him earlier. Like watching Yan Diomande, I was like, all right, this guy is worth 100 mil. He was very exciting to
Already
watch.
stealing hearts.
100%. He was terrific. For Canada, for me, Ali Ahmed was really exciting to come on in the first game for them. Brought some flair. Other than that, like of course, like Gio Reyna coming on and scoring was terrific. One of my favorite players to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here of any
And
other players.
Balogun being able to just like have a striker to show they're that clinical, even at a goal get called offside, but he's not taking extra touches. He's putting it top bins. Just it made me feel so patriotic watching that game. And Leo, I mean, he's already everybody's favorite player, but there's just something about at that age, just putting in a performance like that. It's just timeless.
100%. So saying what's standing out for you?
I think Ayub Buati from Morocco really stood out against Brazil. I mean, like, again, this is a kid who just onto the professional scene, let alone the international one, and didn't look out of place here either. And then Nestor Irakunde for Australia. Again, like I said, he was immense in their win over Turkey, and he's a guy where, you know, Australia's probably going to give or allow the U.S. to have most of the ball, and he's a guy who, like, I'm terrified to see run up against Tim Ream. Like if Richards isn't feeling 100%, and if Mark McKenzie like isn't fully healthy, or you know whoever the third center back is, like that's the guy who's going to cause us problems on the counter. So
for sure. Also, Ayari from Sweden, he looked really good. I think he plays for Brighton, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple of the youngsters stepping up big time. But like Karubi said, I mean, watching Messi still doing it at 39 years old was, I think, for everybody just so peak.
You
Maybe not
think,
like true
he
Ronaldo
can't blow
stance.
you away again, and he always finds a way to still surprise you.
Insane player. A little negative here. Overrated team or player. For me, if we're talking about a player, I mentioned on the pod, Dembele. He gets around some real goats, and all of a sudden he becomes like a little Billy goat. You know what I mean? Like he just disappears, right? He's just a baby. I'm not impressed by him whatsoever. I know next game he's going to probably have a hat trick now. Overrated team for me, maybe Turkey. I think that's a bad shout because I think everyone kind of had limited expectations for them, but that was a team I kind of knew wasn't going to do well and wasn't too scared of. I don't know. Overrated team's tricky after one game, you know?
I think Turkey's fair. Like you've got players like Arda Güler and Kochku and Şahane. Like they have a good core of young guys and older veterans that prior to a tournament like earned them the moniker of like dark horse.
Yeah.
But every tournament they go into, they always find a way to just not do well, which like leads me to my overrated team, which is Portugal. Like you have all of these players, like you should be finding a way to
get a result
score more than once and hold a result against a DR Congo side. That's good, but like you're considered an international giant. Like that's not the result you're looking for.
You're good just abbreviating it. You're on that type of terms with them.
Dr. Congo.
Thank you. I like that. Pooch, what about you? Overrated team?
My
can
overrated
make me stab him here. I know what he's about to say.
Is Belgium.
Yes, that's the right shout.
The FIFA World Ranking number 9 and watching that game and needing
a
overweight Lukaku to come on and get an own goal, like not even like him hitting it in, just like affect the own goal to tie against Egypt. You you can't do that. My overrated player is some that we've touched on before. Arda Güler. You're not that guy, pal. You're not
Wow.
that guy. Like
Wow.
he's supposed to be like the guy for Turkey, the guy for Real Madrid. It just feels like he's going to be a classic Real Madrid player where you're going to be seeing him in the headlines more, like doing stuff after a loss for Turkey or Real Madrid, set like pushing somebody or like yelling at the referee. It's like you had 90 minutes to make sure that your team didn't do this and you couldn't do it. Like I think sometimes he's a bit of a mental midget.
Wow.
I'm going to push back slightly on that in that
I agree.
I think
I
Arda
agree with
Güler,
Sousa.
I think he suffers from like early onset Pulisic with the US, where Pulisic played a lot of hero ball because he felt like he was the only player that could and potentially like really could play soccer at a high level. Like I think Güler feels that responsibility given that he is a
There's also
Madrid
like
player
3
coming to play
defenders
for
on him
Turkey. So
every
he's like, I
time he
have
touches
to.
the ball.
Yeah, he suffered like I'm not saying he's as good as Yamal, but like he's got like that treatment where it's like you're getting 2 or 3 defenders to mark you out of a game. Like at that point, if your teammates aren't helping you or doing what they need to do in space, like you can't do anything. And like he's not even looked to as like the guy from Madrid either. It's just kind of like he's there as a young player that they're hoping pans out, and he's trying to take that to the international game, and it's not working. It's a Turkey team that just always disappoints, and like I don't think that's his fault necessarily.
Yeah, no, that's a fair response. So I just 100% disagree. I think he's a big babby. I think he has the one thing that he has that Pulisic didn't have at the US level is he has Chananoglu, he has Yildiz, he
Well, he
has
has
the
them, but they're not
striker.
playing well. So I guess that's my point. Is like when he's unable to beat 3 defenders at a time because he's being targeted. Like, how is that his fault that Çalhanoğlu doesn't play well? You know what I'm saying?
It's his fault because he's the leader, the spiritual leader of the team.
So Çalhanoğlu, who's the captain and the actual spiritual leader, is now like okay.
Okay, that's a take. I agree with Sousa here.
If Messi gets marked by 3 guys, it's still Messi's fault that they lose the game. If he plays for Real Madrid, he's supposed to be the star of this team. He has to take some of that responsibility on his shoulders.
That's what he did. Like that's why he has 3 guys defending him,
and he's still copping L's from me.
Insane.
Explain that one to me.
I don't even know what that. I don't know what that means, so I can't explain it to you. But
yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Yes,
exactly.
Pooch is going delusional.
Exactly. More a trophy for Güler.
Anyway, that was a take from Pooch. How many goals do we think it's going to take to win the Golden Boot? I think Messi's on 3. A bunch of guys are on 2. What do we think?
Your guy Jonathan David's on 3 now.
Was he actually?
Yeah, he scored a hat-trick today.
What a bum. He's such a bum. He's my overrated player of the tournament, actually. Thank you for that.
That's another good one, actually, yeah.
Such a bum.
I honestly think it might take double-digit 10.
Yeah. I think you're on the right track, Booch, because I think the expanded World Cup, like, while I think there aren't a lot of like really bad teams in the World Cup, even though it is expanded, like that there are a couple of teams that are going to find themselves like on the wrong end of a bad score line. So I think like 10 is probably the minimum, I think, to win the Golden Boot.
I think the tricky part too to remember is although some of these guys are on 3 early, like there is a chance Messi next game just doesn't score. He might have 3 assists, right? So like that's also the thing to remember too, where I agree it might hit double digit, but it is still only 8 games. You know what I mean? Maybe like in a semifinal or something, they can't get one on the board.
I also look at it like this. Harry Kane, for example, he's like my pick essentially to win Golden Boot. And it's because he just put 2 up against Croatia.
Yeah.
And he still has to play Ghana and Panama, 2 worst defenses. And even if he doesn't play one of those games, I'm still expecting him to score 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I don't know. I just feel like some of these groups, you're going to have a couple of duds where some of these guys are going to put up multiple goals.
I agree with you. I think you're definitely going to see the highest goal tally of all time, right? For an individual player, that's obvious. But yeah, it's probably going to be in that 10 goal range, whether it's slightly below, slightly above, but they're definitely going to break the record for sure. There's just literally an extra game. The tricky part is making sure those teams make it to the final too, right? Because I know you mean like, again, just going back to Messi, who obviously is like leading with it, or I guess Jonathan David now supposedly. right? If he scores 1 the rest of the way, what does he have? He has 7 more games. So yeah, he'd be just at 10, right? But he has to make it to the final then, right? Like if he gets knocked in the semifinals, then that's obviously a less game than maybe someone like France with Mbappe. But we will definitely see. And then we'll finish up here with some hot takes. Here's my hot take, and I don't know if it's a hot take. I think the AFCON teams getting to play a tournament in December was one of the biggest advantages that they could have had, because these teams all, whether the performance is good or not, they all look together. Like they look like they know what they're doing, where some of the other national teams are maybe still ironing out kinks in the early parts of the game. The African teams have it down, right? DR Congo with the result. Senegal looked decent against France. We talked about the first half. Senegal looked really well against France. Morocco looked strong. Ivory Coast getting a win off a Ecuadorian team that people thought had the best defense in the tournament potentially. Who else am I missing here from Africa? South Africa did not look good, but I don't think they went anywhere in AFCON. Did they?
Yeah.
They barely played. So even Cabo Verde, right? Where they played in AFCON, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They may have, but like
I know they're an island off the
grouped.
coast. Yeah.
Yeah, they
of
may have,
Africa.
but if they did, they got grouped.
Egypt, did Egypt look good? I didn't watch the Egypt game.
Egypt looked good, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
once again, I felt like an overrated Belgian team, but
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
toughest opportunity, like toughest team they'll play in the group stage.
Yep.
And people already had them as second in that group. So
Yeah.
Group is literally like the group of life. Like
Yeah,
Belgium was so piss poor, and then it's like Iran, New Zealand, Egypt, crap shooting for second.
Right. 100%. Herbie, what about you? Any hot takes? Okay. We may have lost Senor Harubi.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Pooch,
I
any hot
think-
takes?
Yeah, my hot take would be that I think FIFA actually kind of cooked with this World Cup, and I don't like giving them credit, but the fact of basically every game that I'm seeing, and even online trying to get tickets, like everything's basically still sold out. And like looking at these games, there's so many, like for example, the US game, I thought it would be 50-50 US Paraguay. Sousa with his butters on the ground said that it was a dominant like US fan base. So not only the people showing up to watch these games, but also FIFA creating kind of a good locations for some of these teams. So like the US play their group stage, LA, Seattle, LA. Perfect for the US to play those games in those locations. You look at Scotland and Boston, putting them in Boston, great location. Brazil and New York, New Jersey, Morocco, New York, New Jersey, great location. So I think they low-key cooked with everything around it, even though I still have issues with how they did a lot of it. But right now it's looking like they're cooking.
Good. Sousa, any hot takes?
I don't know if I have one that like stands out right now. Part of me thinks that we're going to get one of the Asian teams in the semifinals. Like I think we're going to see a strong run. I think it's going to be Japan. I don't think South Korea is all the way there yet as a national, like as with this current group of players. Like I don't think they have the ability to repeat 0-2, just given how many more teams are here and like the quality gap between them and some of the top teams.
Plus they cheated in 0-2, but
I will say that Japan maybe is the Asian team to make the run to the semifinals.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Ruby, give it a go here. Any hot takes? Nah, we lost you. All right. Well, that is all we have here. If you've been missing Ruby's voice, we may have lost him for the final couple minutes of this episode. But that being said, awesome episode. We've been enjoying the games. We're excited to get to round 2 of the group stage. That being said, fellas, class is permanent. Form is temporary. We will see you guys next week. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow, share, then do it all again. Create a second account on all these platforms and then do it again. And then you know what? Go take your mom's phone and then do it again on hers. And then take your dad's phone and then do it again on his. And then create an account for your dog and maybe post some cute pictures of your dog. Everyone loves that. And then do it again. Pooch, thoughts?
another one.
We will be trying to post more actively on all our socials as we grow this. We've been enjoying the World Cup. It's been awesome content. Like I said, we will see you guys next week. Peace.